to play it.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully we're live. It's RPGrinders. I'm on with Eric RPG. We are just shooting the breeze before we get started. Is that the expression? Shoot the breeze. Something like that. We're holding on. Hope that Breakman gets here in a timely fashion because of his dumb computer. I'm not holding my breath. Let's just put it that way. Are we live yet, Eric? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, we are. Okay, good. Very good. So we got a little bit of news stories today. I'm excited for. Actually, it's December 2nd today, so it's the beginning of the month. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great tournament this month. One that it's going to be pretty awesome, to be honest with you. We put together a list of the worst movies we've ever seen, and boy, oh boy, do we have some terrible movies to bring to you all. It's going to be awesome, I promise. We're just waiting for Breakman to get on. We'll start at the top of the hour. Should be a ton of fun. We're going to have a rollicking good time on RPGrinders today, including some new games on the PlayStation Store for the PlayStation Plus, new gold games. What else we got? I think we got a Dear Breakman this week, which is really cool. Eric is finally going to give his review of Beavis and Butthead Season 1, which should be fantastic. I can't wait to hear. If we have time, I'm going to review a couple of retro movies, Demons and Demons 2. Our Stinkos are going to be fun, as always, Sweetos. And then, like I said, for Free For All, we have the worst movies we've ever seen tournament round 1, and there are some very surprising movies in this list. There's a couple I don't agree with. I'm trying to look through here. There was one I was like, why is that? Requiem for a Dream is on the list. I don't know why that was put on there. I don't know if Eric, I think it was Break that put that one on. I would have definitely not put. I own that movie.
I've never seen it.
I think it's good. It's hard to watch, but we'll discuss it. Let's see.
No, knowing Breakman is probably a bad reason for not liking it.
I don't know. We'll see. He's gonna have to explain. But everything else, I pretty much agree with. I mean, there's nothing on the list that I disagree with. Like it's pretty good. It's a pretty good list. And you know what? The best thing about Breakman's tournaments is that he breaks things down into categories. Like he's got them like horror, action, comedy, drama. So he's got them in there. Like it's pretty good. And some of them are going to be really tough to decide. Like I'm looking at some of these like I'll just give you a preview. One of them is It's a Wonderful Life versus Mac and Me. That's going to be really tough for me to decide. Holy shit. But we will get there. There's some on here that people are going to be pissed. One of them being Wizard of Oz is on here. I don't know why that would be on here. I mean, that's the other one that I was semi-iffy.
I added Return to Oz on Breakman's list.
Oh, Return to Oz. That I would rather have Return to Oz on there than Wizard of Oz, but whatever. I mean, he put the list together, so we'll just go with it. A lot of mine didn't even make the list, but that's okay.
Did you ever see The Wiz?
Yeah, I didn't think it was terrible, Eric. But it wasn't good. I mean, it was passable. It was watchable. But whatever. Let's see. I'm looking. It's pretty good. This whole list is pretty shitty. Wow. I would be really surprised if Mortal Kombat Annihilation didn't make it all the way to the end, to be honest with you, Eric. God. The horror one is pretty fucking bad. It's really bad. I can't wait to get to it. This should be a ton of fun today, so let's hope for the best. Let's get Breakman on here, and let's just do this thing. I saw him in chat earlier, but as far as getting on the show, it's always last minute, with Break. He's always battling his laptop to. I mean, I don't know if it's his last laptop, Skype, or a combination of him, Skype, and his laptop, but I think his laptop is the main culprit. I think we are all in agreement that his laptop needs the boot out the door. You know what his laptop needs is the Office Space treatment. Where everybody just takes everybody just takes a bat and just beats the living shit out of it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say burn the whole place down.
Well,
like Milton does.
Like what?
Milton.
Oh, yeah. No, just beat the shit out of the, you know how they take that fax machine and just beat the fuck out of it?
Mm.
Yeah, that. All right, let's see if we can get our good friend Break on the line here for a little bit of pre-show banter. I feel special if we could talk to him before. That's cool. Let's try this. Let's add Break. I want you to remember. What's that?
Break, of course, didn't get his account back.
Oh, he did. He didn't.
Well, he would have been using it, don't you think?
Yeah, I'll ask him about that. Maybe. Hold on. Let's see if we can get him on here. Oh, Breakman is here. What's up, Break? Can you hear us, Break? Yes, we can hear you. Right on. Good. Holy shit. You mean we did it on a first try this week and we get a little pre-show banter, Breakman?
Well, I was fucking with Skype earlier, so I made sure it was working before.
God damn, this is unusual. I like it.
Well, I was on here fixing the brackets as best I could.
Yeah, it's good, man. Did you make any changes?
Only a couple, because honestly, like Eric said most of those last episode. I was
writing them down
as he was saying them.
I got you. Okay. Well, cool. Then we're in good shape.
So things like Season of the Witch and shit like that. And I was surprised Zoolander wasn't on the list he gave me.
Wait a minute. Season of the Witch made it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I hope not. I hope it didn't make it, because that's actually a decent movie. It did make it.
Okay.
I disagree.
Like, that's one of his. He didn't like it. Also, Eric, how come you didn't see Zoolander?
It's on there. Zoolander's.
I know. I put Zoolander 1 and 2 on there because I know he hates them. But how come you didn't put them on your list?
I did put Zoolander 2 on there.
No, you didn't. I don't think. Yeah.
I did.
Oh, you did? Well, okay.
Yeah, you must have missed it. Or got somehow erased.
Oh, no, you're right. Zoolander 2's there. My bad. But what about the first Zoolander? You didn't put...
I think it's okay.
Yeah. It's good enough to be on the list, I think. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about it when we get there.
Oh, there's Zoolander 2. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only doing like one Stinko because this is going to be a long thing.
I can't wait, man. This is going to be so fun. You guys ready to just start and let's go?
I need to go get something.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we would have started on time today, but, Breakman fucked it up. It's okay. It's all good. We're used to starting 5 minutes late, Breakman. It's all good. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to go get whatever I'm getting. Well, we'll wait for Break here. It's going to be a fun show. I hope you all have a good time today, especially with our tournament. Our tournament's going to be fantastic. Drapsnat is in chat, and so is another TV viewer. Thank you, guys. Or gals, whoever you are. But this should be a ton of fun. We're going to have a great tournament. Now, we're going to have to make disclaimers before we do this tournament because some of these movies, some people might really, really love. I mean, one of them is an Academy Award winner, an actual Academy Award winner.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I'm like, oh, God. All right.
I had to find a cowbell.
Oh, the cowbell. All right, cool. All right.
I had an idea for the bracket tournament. We need Freak though.
Well, we'll wait for Freak, and then you can discuss it with him when we get to that point. Is that cool?
I'll just tell you what it is. Basically, I thought for each movie, I picked one from all of us, like that we hated. Mm-hmm. I thought it'd be interesting to have each one of us state our case as to why that movie should be on the list.
Oh, just like one, like the worst one of all?
Well, no. For instance, like The Breakfast Club. I put The Breakfast Club on there, so I should explain why The Breakfast Club is a terrible movie. And
okay.
It should be on there.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, for instance, when we get to Castaway, you get to say like why it should be on here.
Okay. Okay. So whoever's movie it is, they can explain why they put it on the list. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You ready to go, Break?
Sure.
All right. What about you, Eric? You ready?
Got news articles loaded, and I think I'm in chat now.
I mean, holy shit, the stars are aligning right now. Break. Wow.
The power's probably gonna go out.
I know, right? Okay, let's get this started before something falls apart really quickly, man. Here we go. All right, show's RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. This is episode, what is this episode? 2, 6, 9, what the fuck, 717. Holy shit, I couldn't find, I jumped places, man, it was crazy. 717, can you believe that? 717 episodes. Gentlemen, how are you? Whatever that was, Breakman. How are you, Eric? You there, Eric? Did we lose Eric?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, cool.
He's like,
I was just waiting for that to finish.
He's like, I'm waiting for that shit to finish. I agree, Eric, wholeheartedly. All right, we are going to have a fantastic show today. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, okay, good. I was recording. I was like, holy shit, I'm not recording. We are going to have, I think, an all-time great tournament. And when we get to it, we'll discuss it. But needless to say, you do have feelings, Breakman.
No, I have feelings.
It's going to be a movie-based one, and it's fantastic. I can't wait to get to it. So let's just get right into the news and get started here.
RPG News.
All right, Eric, you are up, sir.
From RPG site, we've got, actually, this is from Komatsu. Persona 5 Royals, just for these current ports, have reached, shipments and digital sales totally. So this is combined, equal 1 million for the new platforms, and 3.3 million, which includes the PS4 altogether.
Yeah, so it surpasses 8.3 million units. I think that's a big deal. It's probably the greatest RPG. I mean, would you agree, Eric? I mean, you said it yourself. You play more RPGs than anybody on the show.
Its biggest problem is that it's probably too long, and it takes a while for the plot to get going in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So it has pacing issues. So.
Pacing issues aside, would you agree that it's the greatest RPG of all time, Eric? I mean, it's got to be pretty
No,
close,
but
right?
it's up there.
It's got to be close, man. I mean, from what I played, like I mean, there's nothing not to really like about the game. I don't know, but well, what would you consider? I mean, I already know mine. Everybody knows that Dragon Quest VIII is the greatest game of all time, but besides that, no, I'm kidding, Eric. What would you consider the best?
I can't really say that because I have too many favorites.
Yeah, I know. There's so many out there. I don't know. This one's up there for sure. It's got to be, if not top 1, top 3 or 5. I'd say. I don't know. I personally, I think I'd put it number 2 for me, but whatever. All right. Anything else on that, Eric?
No.
All right. Breakman. Next story.
Coming to us live from Gamatsu. The 13th month for PC launches December 2nd. That was a short story.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, you could now then.
You could tell us how much it cost, Breakman. Then
I was looking. I don't see anything. I got a synopsis on the story. I see the voice actors. I do not see a price.
Yeah, the first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I scroll past it. My bad. $19.99.
I was gonna say the first sentence, man.
I was down reading way past.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I don't have a trailer for it. Otherwise, I'd play it.
It's an adventure game.
Yeah. That's cool. I want to play this, but not on PC. I hope it comes out on,
consoles maybe next year.
Yeah, hopefully, that'll be cool. All right.
It's on the iOS and Android as well, so you can get it there.
I might do it
and
that
since
way.
It's an adventure game, it'll be easier to play.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure. Looks like Alicidra got in there. Welcome, and Ninatella. Are you related to Nutella? Ninatella. I don't know. All right. Next story comes to us also from Gamatsu. You know what?
I mean, it's going to come to mobile. It's not out yet.
Oh, I gotcha. All right. Guys, I noticed that not one story was from RPG site this week, which is weird, which is really cool, I guess. All right. Next story from Gamatsu. Grime. For PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One launches December 15th, along free DLC Colors of Rot. Ooh, I like when they do free DLC. That's really cool. So that's from Akapura Games and developer Cloverbyte. Release date for the Switch version not yet announced. And then there's an overview. Some key features: eye-popping surrealism, death-defying combat, living weapons, unique skill progression, astonishing bosses, and then Color of Rot, where you can discover new abilities, new weapons, new enemies, etc., etc., etc. And there is a trailer here. Let me get to the gameplay. This is the game, I believe, that has kind of a side-scrolling kind of a weird art style aesthetic. I think we talked about this before, Eric. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I might give it a try. It's sort of like it looks like it plays like Salt and Sanctuary a bit, but with some new key abilities and stuff like that. So I mean,
it's
it looks
a 2D
good.
Souls game.
Yeah, 2D Souls. There you go. That's good app descriptor. Anything else, Breakman, you want to say on this, or can we safely move on?
It was your news story.
No, I know, but I'm just saying if you have anything.
I didn't have anything to add to it.
All right, cool. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is for a release date for Amato Anomalies, which is coming out March 10th of next year. And that's pretty much it. We talked about this before, but it's priced at $40, and it's coming to the PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC.
Yeah, I don't think we had a date on it, Eric.
Yeah. It's a turn-based RPG.
With cards, it looks like. Yeah. I don't know. I might play this. Turn-based RPGs always interest me. So, and it's got like a really cool comic book aesthetic to it too, which is nice. So, it's a little different. Looks cool. I don't know.
It doesn't say anything about cards.
When I was looking at the gameplay, it looked like there were some parts of the game that had card elements, but I could be completely wrong. It could just be a small section, but whatever. It looks
could
good.
just be the nature of one of the characters' attacks.
Yeah, possibly. All right. Anything else on that, Eric?
No.
All right. Breakman, next story,
Coming to
please.
us live from Gamatsu. Onion Games, new sandbox RPG, due out in 2023. Okay. Yoshiro Kimura touches slightly on the game's theme. I don't think we really need to talk about that unless you want to.
You know,
But,
there's only one screenshot, but it looks like it has a cell shaded style, a minimalist cell shaded style. But it sort of looks like they were aiming like the comic book Bone. I don't know if you've ever seen that comic book. Cross with like what's that game with the wolf, Eric, where you're doing paint strokes? It came out on.
Wolf?
What's that?
For the wolf.
Yes. What game is that?
It's wolf.
What is the game called, Eric? Do you know?
Okami.
Okami. That's right. Sort of like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about gameplay, but
because it doesn't look like a PoE.
Well, I said minimalist, Eric. Like if you took Bones and you mixed Okami with Bones, that's what that picture, that screenshot reminds me of. So just saying what I see. But
this is Onion Games, so you could expect the game to be really, really, really weird.
Yeah, yeah. All right, that was yours, right, Eric?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't do this one actually.
Oh, was that yours, Break?
I did that one.
All right. So the next story comes to us from Gamatsu. Retro futuristic text adventure game Omega 6, the video game by F-Zero and Star Fox artist, announced for Switch. Okay, so it was based on the manga Omega 6, written by Takaya Imamura. I never read this one. Who was the main art director, character designer, and story writer in F-Zero and Star Fox. It will support English, French, and Japanese language options. Rather than follow the story of the manga, the game will follow a completely original story, as well as feature a number of new characters who did not appear in the manga, in addition to established characters such as Thunder and Kila. While it's a text adventure game at its core, it will also include battle scenes and other unique features and systems. The game's art direction and graphics are being handled by Inamura, while development is led by Mystery Guide Studio, series studio Happy Meal. So there you go. If you want your game with a little bit of McDonald's, here we go. So there you go. And I think that's about it. I never read the manga, but I think I've seen these, I mean, everybody...
I'm not sure if the manga was ever localized in English.
Yeah. Text adventure, though. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. Anything else on that, guys, or can we move on from it?
Please move on.
Yeah, all right. Eric, you get to do the next story.
He's so bored.
All right.
What?
Well, we all would probably be bored with that, Eric. All right, Eric, next story.
Next story is about the Utawari spin-off visual novel Gizoku Tante Nasuri, which is coming to the PS4 and Switch digitally, apparently, December 22nd in Japan.
Yeah, and there's a... They don't really show you much gameplay. What is this, a visual novel, Eric? It looks like it.
Yeah, because that's the series, basically.
Yeah. All right, cool.
There might be gameplay, like RPG-like segments like the other Otowario games.
All right. Well, cool. I mean, if you want to further that story, then there you go. All right.
But since it is detective-based, I'm sure that's gonna be more...
Yeah.
Leaning more heavily on the adventure aspects rather than the RPG aspects.
Yeah. All right, Breakman, final story.
Coming to us live from Komatsu. Monster Hunter Rise coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One on January 20th. Wow. And it will be on Game Pass, for those who are wondering. So, yeah, that's an awesome deal. This was once a Switch exclusive, and it's going to be $39.99.
Yeah, but it's looking pretty good.
Pay $50 for the fucking Sunbreak that's coming out in spring, because I'm sure that you won't be able to play Sunbreak on Game Pass if the game's still on Game Pass when that game's out, because that's what Game Pass does. You have to buy the DLC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? There is thoughts to that Game Pass is becoming more of a beacon for people to buy DLC. I think I think people like developers and publishers are going to start like demanding that more DLC and less game, and then it's going to be more of a glorified demo. You know what I'm saying? Like that you'll get a game on
Shower
Game
is
Pass.
back, baby.
Yeah, I mean there is thoughts to that. I think that might be their overall plan, but nonetheless, whatever. I mean, I guess it's okay. No, not a big issue, but still. All right, that is the news, y'all. We are completely done with the news. We're on to homie discounts now. Eric, what are the free games on Sony and Xbox for the month?
For Sony, it will be 3 games, and they are Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Biomutant, and Divine Knockout. Biomutant and Divine Knockout are like, but it's Mass Effect that's most interesting here, because you get 3 games in one, technically.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like that, but I'm also interested in Biomutant. I think that game gets too much hate from what I've seen. I want to play that. So I'm happy this month because I don't have that Legendary Edition of Mass Effect, and so I want to go through those Mass Effect games again, and then I want to play Biomutant too. So that DKL game, I could care less. What do we got for Xbox?
Xbox Live Gold should just die at this point if they're just going to do this every month from now on, because the offerings for this month are, let's see, Cold Canyon and Bladed Fury.
Awesome games we've never heard of.
Yeah.
Which apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but someone on the forums, on the comment section, said that they thought that, or maybe it was in Twitter. Yeah, it was on Twitter comments. Thought that this game had been available as games of gold before.
Ooh, are they starting to recycle games? Wow, that would be a story in itself, man. I agree.
That'd be cool if it led to cooler stuff being recycled, but.
Well, I've always felt that PlayStation Plus always was better, almost on a monthly basis, better than games with gold. The thing that Microsoft has over Sony is that Game Pass, man. I mean, the Game Pass is very lucrative because not only are they making a shit ton of money on the pass, but everybody that has the pass gets to be, fucking play awesome games all the time. Like we just discussed that Monster Hunter game. Like normally you on PlayStation you definitely have to buy it. They're not going to give you that for any of their 3 tiers, but Game Pass right away, boom, it's there. So I don't know, man. I agree with you, Eric. I think they should just get rid of their gold tier and just concentrate on Game Pass, because their gold tier has sucked, and I used to have games with gold.
I think Microsoft's long-term plan is to get rid of Xbox Live Gold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
they really should.
The way of doing it, just making it just not worth it at all.
Yeah. All right, is that it, Eric?
Because you could just get Ultimate Game Pass and then just play all the stuff on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. All right, anything else, Eric?
Nope.
All right, Breakman, should I play your music?
Actually, there's another sale on Xbox. They have a DLC sale going on right now for tons of DLC. So.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Is there any actual game sales though?
As far as the games, I don't know.
I haven't checked.
I was just looking for the DLC. And once the Cyber Monday deals were ended, I wasn't paying attention anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of fatigued on sales. I did end up picking a couple, which I'll. Let's see. Hold on. I got to go to my my app here to tell you guys what I got, because I think one of them was Danganronpa. Am I saying that right, Eric? Let's see. I got Danganronpa Reload, and then I got the Somnium Files. Because
Somnium.
Yeah, Somnium Files. Because those were the 2 best deals that I saw on there, so I definitely picked those up. But all right, Breakman, should I hit your music? right, dear Breakman, what do we have?
I wish he was in chat right now, but Freak 5 Chaos, thank you. Would you rather?
Huh?
What?
Cut out.
Break, you cut out.
Hello?
Of course he cut out. Do we have you, Breakman?
I'm having problems with the web internet
site
here. It just started playing audio. Oh, shit.
Oh shit, he said.
All I can hear is like the show in the background, like talking. Like,
awesome. Okay, what you got, Breakman?
I'm sorry. Instead of Dear Breakman, we have a Would You Rather today.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Would you rather know when you are going to die or know how you are going to die? Well, that's an easy question. This is Dear Breakman, and Breakman knows everything. I'm not going to.
You're not gonna die?
No, I'm living forever.
Okay, so that's why you don't even yeah. Okay, well there you go. I mean,
find a way to live forever.
I know everybody was questioning. It explains a lot.
I think I have more of a claim to that than you do at this point, Breakman. But
I know. Wait a minute, weren't you in a hospital trying to kill yourself? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think there would be much value knowing like how you're gonna die as opposed to when you're gonna die. At least then you could get shit taken care of. You know, the year before you're gonna die, you're gonna be like, okay, well, you know, I know I'm gonna die in a year, but I'm gonna take care of this, and this before I die, and then the rest of the time I'm just gonna fuck around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you knew how you were gonna die, say you knew you were gonna die in a plane crash, wouldn't you do everything you could to never get on a plane ever? You know?
Well,
but we know from like Destiny and stuff like from not Destiny, but you know, like things that are stories that are written about Destiny that even if you're fated to die somehow, you're gonna die that way.
Yeah, haven't you seen those Final Destination movies, right. Breakman? Come on, man. No,
well, you know, but the people got away. The people like in the first movie, they're supposed to die in a plane crash. Since they didn't, they killed them in other crueler ways.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I don't want that to happen to me. But beside the fact, like knowing you, let's say, oh, you're gonna have a heart attack, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm fucked either way. I might as well eat that extra cheeseburger, you know? Fuck it. Let's bring it on, you know? I mean, shit. But then again, you would never know, you know? You could live till you're fucking 90, or you could just die tomorrow. It would suck. It would suck even worse because you would know I mean, it's like life now. You never know when you're going to die, right?
What if you found out you're going to die and it was tomorrow?
Oh, God. That would really fucking suck, man. You know what I would do? I would smoke as much weed as I possibly could from then until then. You know what I'm saying? From now until then, break. Fuck it. Might as well. Let's see if I could beat Snoop Dogg's record. You know? Fuck it. What do you think, Eric?
I'd rather know when.
You'd rather know when? Yeah. I think I agree with that, man. Like, you know. I mean, but let's say you had a few years, you know, let's say that, like, you know, even a year, you could be like, okay, well, I can wrap things up. You know, I can, you know, whoever's going to get this, you know, my kids are going to get this, you know, whatever, you know. But, you know, knowing how you're going to die is like, oof. You know, what if it was, all right, right on, Freak 5, he's still at work, but listening. What if it was like one of those deals, Breakman, where, you know, it said you are gonna die on a plane, right? So by saying that, you try not to get on a plane, but let's say like you do something illegal, you end up in jail, and they have to extradite you, and then they put you on a plane. You're like, oh fuck, here it is, right? Because you would never get on a plane otherwise, right? Or
saying about like the Destiny when they write tales like. People escaping their death or finding out how they're going to die, they try and avoid it, but inevitably that is how they die.
Yeah. And Freak 5 says, and you can spend more time with your loved ones if you know when, instead of working until the day you die. Exactly. You know, fuck it.
Like I said, it would only really suck if it's like you found out you're going to die tomorrow. Then it's like, well, fuck. Well, I wish I'd known how, so, you know, and I not be dying tomorrow.
Right. You know. Like I said, if they told me tomorrow was the day, I've got a fucking full thing full of weed, man. Bring it on. I'm gonna smoke the entire fucking thing. How many edibles do we got? Oh, we don't have any? We're going to the dispensary right now. You know? Fuck it.
Lines? Screw lines.
Yeah, fuck it. Oh man, I'm taking a trip to the mountain. I'm gonna Thelma and Louise this biatch, you know? Fuck it. I don't know, man. Yeah, definitely when would be the answer, I think, right? You got anything else, Breakman?
No.
All right, let's move on to...
Inquiring minds want to know.
What have you been playing, Breakman?
The same games. Friday the 13th, still just trying to level, get to the 150, I think is the final level. I'm in the 1 teens now. So I'm leveling pretty fast and
11
trying to get all
teen?
kills. I'm at that point where I don't know what kills I need. You know what I mean? Like I've got so few left. It's like, what do I need? Because I don't have like a running tab of what I've done.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I don't.
Is there a way you
what-
can look and see what kills you got? Like, you
No,
know.
I can't find any stats on it. Not in the game anywhere.
That's strange. I guess this is just one of those things. You're just going to be playing this game forever, and then one day you're going to be like, you know, you unlock the last one. And you're like, holy fuck, there it is. You know, like oh, you know, and then you're like, oh,
I'm 91% of the kills right now. So
I know, man. You only need like what, 2 or 3 more?
probably about that, man.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. What else you been playing? Anything else?
And I've been playing more of Katana Kami, and I don't know. Like I just when I start to enjoy the game, they throw something at me that pisses me off. You know. So I
Do you have
don't know.
do you have a comfort game that you always go back to when those instances happen? Break.
On the Switch, I usually go back to like the Namco classics or something like that, or a Mega Man game. I go back to old school games. Definitely.
Yeah. There's always games like that where you're like, oh, this game is frustrating. I want to go back to playing this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, in Katana, it's not, I said last week, and really it's not the game, you know, that I wanted, but still it's got its value.
Yeah.
But it does things that are just like, ugh. Like it forces you into the dungeon, and it's basically you can go through the dungeon, and at like every third level you can escape or you can keep going deeper. At a certain point they start throwing like these, what do they call them? Skeleton lords or skeleton gods or something like that, and they wipe me out.
Yeah. That's never
Like,
fun.
they're not a boss. It's just like just an enemy that shows up, just kind of like push you forward.
Yeah.
But you know, then you're encouraging me to go get supplies and shit like that, but you're telling me not to at the same time.
Yeah.
And,
You know,
and I'm
there's
somebody who likes to take his time. Like I like
there's
to
a
explore.
certain level of frustration that's tolerable, right? I always go back to the Dark Souls games. Like those games are frustrating, right? There's no doubt, but it's a level of frustration that I think is tolerable for most people. You know, like if you learn certain move sets or you just get better at the game, you can go back and just whip ass, right?
Yeah.
But there's certain games that do that, like what you're explaining, Break, where it's just real. They throw like a huge learning curve at you, or an enemy that's just seemingly impossible to beat. You know.
Yeah.
So.
And I try, you know, and I experienced it a few times, and every time it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna start to fuck over because I don't want to, you know, lose my sword and lose everything that I had, you know, that I worked hard for.
Yeah.
I've tried running away from him. No, he catches me.
Let's run away.
As I said, the
Run
Death
away.
Lord or the Skeleton God or whatever the fuck it's called, and it's instant death almost.
Yeah. It almost sounds like
There was a point I was fighting earlier. I was in the middle of fighting like just skeleton archers, and all of a sudden it ran up and killed me from behind.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Came off screen, just came at rest right at me. Like what the? Everything was fuck me.
You know,
I played the game for so long, and then it's like fuck you.
Are there any buffs you can put on yourself before you go into those areas, or is it just one of
Nothing
those?
that's gonna help me fight that thing.
Oh, I gotcha.
I've tried fighting it. It's a losing battle.
Yeah. All
Are there
right.
monster houses in the game?
No.
Monster houses are just like rooms that like just get filled with monsters.
Yeah, not that I've seen. No. Something like that.
Just hard ass fucking monsters. Mm.
Well, most of them are normal. It's just this one character. Like I've fought bosses too, and it's like, okay, like, these are fine. I can handle these, no problem. They're not hard, and normal enemies are not hard. And then suddenly this regular enemy is like super hard. Like what the fuck?
Fuck that shit. Anything else you've been playing, Break?
No, that's it.
Looks like Eric has been playing the Vulgus collection, right, Eric?
It's Valis.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Valis
Why
collection.
can't you read today?
I
Or
definitely
pronounce
can read.
things.
I'm fucking with you, Eric. The Valis collection. What else, Eric?
God of War Ragnarok.
Is it as good as people are saying?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know what people are saying, but I'm sure it's okay.
They're saying it's pretty great, Eric. So, I want to play that. I'm going to get it, but definitely when it goes on sale later. Got too much shit to play, like Titanfall 2. I still want to beat Titanfall
I sold
2.
a game and basically just knocked off the Sony tax of $10 more.
Right.
The games were in previous generations.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this.
RPGrinders reviews.
All right, Breakman, did you have any reviews this week? Did we lose Breakman? Breakman, are you there?
What'd you say?
I said, did you have any reviews this week?
Actually, I could review something. Seeing how much time we have, really.
We have plenty of time, dude. Go.
Okay.
Go.
I watched a couple of movies this week. Watched a horror movie called, and I don't know if it's really a horror movie. It seemed more like a comedy than anything. Happy Death Day.
Oh yeah, I like that movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a terrible name, but it was pretty good. I liked it. It's a time loop movie, and a slasher flick at the same time, which is an interesting combination. Essentially, the premise is there's a college girl who's trapped in a time loop, and every time she dies, she resets, and there's a serial killer killing her, all the time, in different ways, and she's got to try and figure out how to get away from, survive him, and get out of the loop and such like that. And,
did you see the sequel with it too, or just?
well, if you'd let me finish.
Oh,
Premise,
okay.
by the
Sorry.
way.
Sorry. Go ahead, Break.
Anyway, what was I saying? So so it was her trying to escape the time loop, and eventually she's gonna escape it. It's a movie. Like everybody's gonna escape at the end or die, either one.
There's also a sequel.
Well,
Which leads right into the sequel, which I wish more Hollywood movies did. Like I don't know why only horror movies really seem to do that. Like the sequel begins right where the first one left off.
Yeah.
Why do more movies not do that?
I don't know. I am interested in that, Breakman. I feel the same way. Like, more movies should just pick off right where that, like, another good one like that is sort of John Wick. The John Wick series kind of does that. They pick up right where the last one leaves, and that's good. That's
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out John Wick sometime.
Oh god, John Wick's so good.
The next one starts out with a character that was kind of a minor character in the first movie, suddenly experiencing the time loop phenomenon, and ended up getting killed by a serial killer.
Yeah.
Which starts a chain of events where you find out, and this is the one thing that they've never really done in most time loop movies, is explain why they're in a time loop.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Death Day to You, which is clever trick of name, like explains exactly why they're in a time warp. It's a science project by kids, college kids, and in this one they instead of her being in a normal time loop, this time she gets sent into an alternative dimension, as well as the time loop. So now everything that she already knew has changed. The original killer's not the same, and such like that, and she's got to try and get back to her own dimension and out of a time loop at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really complicated, but I like them both. They're both pretty good movies.
So what are you giving part 1?
7.5.
All right, part 2?
7.
Oh, okay, right. I like them both like about that much too. Break.
Yeah.
I think those movies were pretty unique and addressed a lot of great things in them.
And it also did another twist on what you normally see as far as like a protagonist in one of these time loop movies. Is you don't it's normally a guy, so it's normally like a guy who's really unlikable, and then becoming like a good person, like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
You ever
Phil, whatever his last name was, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
To start the movie, like he was a flat out asshole.
Yeah.
By the end of the movie, he's beloved by everybody in town.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's a woman, and she is a bitch. She's a horrible bitch.
Yeah.
She's an asshole.
Yeah.
A jackass, a monster, a fucker.
A piece of shit.
Yeah. So and you just watch her over the course of the movie become a good person, which is.
Do you like time loop movies, Breakman? Do you like them?
I like time travel movies.
Yeah, you know a couple of good ones if you haven't seen them already. One is called Triangle, with the chick that was on that Silent Hill movie. I believe her name is Melissa George. And then another one is Time Crimes, which is a foreign movie, but that's a great time loop movie, man. It's really, really fucking good. So if you get time to watch those, definitely check those out. They're really, really good. Yeah. What about you, Eric? You like time loop movies?
Yeah.
The problem with time loop movies, there's always plot holes, man. Like big time. You know, you can't. It's hard to reconcile the time loop with anything.
Mean, in the second movie, for instance, like she goes into an alternative dimension. What happened to her character when she was in that alternative dimension?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's just, I mean, is it like you just disappear from your own timeline? Like what happens?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I wish the movie would address that, but whatever. All right, you got any more? Break?
No, that's it.
All right. Since we're doing movies and sequels, can I go next, Eric? Because I think your review is going to be the best of all of them, to be honest. But I'm going to review real quickly Demons and Demons 2. Now, these are old horror movies. These are from the minds of Dario Argento. So if you like old giallo movies, you'll kind of like these movies. Giallo movies are like Italian horror movies from like the 70s and 80s, and they're very vivid. They're kind of dreamlike movies, and these are no exception. It's basically about demons, right? Hence the name Demons. First one takes place in a movie theater where people get trapped in this movie theater seemingly magically. I mean, there's very little plot to this movie other than demons appear, kill people, and a couple of the people eventually getting away. Second Demons movie is in a high rise, and I believe if I'm not mistaken, this movie is going to be kind of the premise for the new Evil Dead Rise movie, Demons 2. So it's the reason why I chose to review these movies. The acting obviously is not great. Directing is more of an abstract in these movies. The special effects are 80s, special effects for old ass fucking Italian giallo movies. But overall, I think the kind of the atmosphere of these movies is, what they're aiming for, and some of the absurdity and some of the abstract nature of them. And I think if I was to give Demons 1, it would be a little bit higher, 7.5, and a 7 for Demons 2. So I recommend checking them out. They're on Shudder. There's a few other services that have Demons and Demons 2. So if you like giallo movies, you're going to love these. If you're not into the abstract, then you might skip them. So there you go. Eric, you have... Finally, you saw the entirety of Beavis and Butthead Season 1. Your review, sir.
All right. This is Mike Joseph's return to the two characters from the 90s. Early to mid and end of the 90s, because it ended like in 1998 and it came back in 2011 for like not even a year. Because they didn't continue beyond that point. Like they had like a string of episodes and then it was over. And hopefully this does not happen to this new series, which is effectively season 10, I guess. But anyways, No, I'm not. It'd be season 9. That's right. I was going by Paramount Plus's weird seasoning grouping of episodes. It skips a couple seasons. Season 8 doesn't even have all its episodes. And
Yeah.
it's probably the case for a couple of them. And it goes to the Mike Judge's collection, which is actually the very first episodes of Beavis and Butthead ever. Before they hit Liquid TV.
Yeah.
Like before it became its own show, really. Yeah. But and then I guess it was on MTV for a while as it's like shorts.
Yeah.
And not even like a real show.
Yep. Do you remember that break?
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, yes.
But anyways, it kind of carries the theme of the previous season, where there'll be a skit and then they'll do like a video that's like a YouTube video or something like that. Sometimes
TikTok,
or TikTok, or sometimes they'll do actual music videos, like when there is music videos for them to do, because nobody really makes music videos anymore.
Right.
Or at least puts them in a circulation that'd be easily found.
Yeah.
And then having to pay the money to actually host the videos on the episode itself. So
what'd you think of the season?
It was probably easier for them to do that back then because the only way you could watch music videos is through MTV anyway, so, or VH1. But I think my favorite episode is the spiritual journey one, because Beavis finds a face of Jesus on his nacho, or at least that's what he believes, and he keeps going to different churches to like find out how to score, apparently, because they're Beavis and Butthead. And I think the funniest one is the one where he goes to the Catholic Church and they get super Catholic theology nerd mode. Yeah. And he has a really funny and disturbing voice where it's super nasally and like sounds like he's also sucked up helium.
Yeah. I enjoyed this season tremendously. I mean, breaking
and then he goes to the Jew church, and he finds out that the rabbi is like a super Marvel nerd or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my two favorite episodes came at the end: the yoga pants episode, and then the Bonersaurus episode with the ghosting MTV show one. I thought that was hilarious, man. I mean, I played that clip on the show before. I think it's really, really fucking funny. I don't know. What are you giving Beavis and Butthead season 1, Eric?
I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah, I think it's that good. What do you think? Isn't that what you gave to Break?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we all gave it at least a 9 out of 10. I think it was a great return to form. I mean, they could do...
Also, I like the... I don't know if it was commentary or not, but there was an episode with the raccoons getting into their shit. Oh. I wonder if that was like commentary on just pest control, just being garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe there's, Mike Judge is pretty clever. He adds stuff like that into Beavis and Butthead. That
I mean, there were like no human element in there that commentate on pet control themselves. But the thing is, if pest control was doing their jobs, maybe there wouldn't be raccoons everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. All right, anything else to add to that, Eric?
Not really.
All right, let's go to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, your Stinko of the week.
I only did one because we got a big tournament.
Also, yes. I'd like to mention that the spiritual journey episode's like the only Beavis and Butthead episode that's been like a single skit.
Oh yeah, that is noteworthy. All right, Breakman, your Stinko. Sorry.
So last week we talked a bit about politics, and the Iraq War came up, and and I said that's really what pushed me away from the Republican Party was the Iraq War, and you brought up the Democrats, and the reason I didn't like just switch sides is because I already was kind of like, I was already weary of the other side. And reasons like this, my stinko goes to Joe Biden this week. And what him and his administration is doing to the railroad employees.
Yep. That's also my stinko.
Union busting.
Yep.
Is what they're doing.
Yep.
It's exactly what Reagan did to the flight, what is it called? The people that monitor the flights,
stewardesses, the flight attendants.
No, they're on the ground.
The ramp workers and all those people.
No, the people that call the plane. They monitor the landing.
Like the air traffic control. Yeah.
Traffic control. Thank you.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Traffic controllers union. Like he pulled union buster on them, and then that's what Biden's doing now. All these people want is some fucking sick pay.
Yeah. And okay.
For Christ's sake.
Look, Bernie Sanders is the one that brought it to a vote. So everybody
Don't forget that Biden wants the pandemic to be over, so he said the pandemic's over.
Right.
And
So
why?
and using that as an excuse to like make people go back to work, and of course you're gonna undercut that even more by saying, no, pay, fuck you. Right.
Instead of going after a corporation which is worth a lot of money and can afford to do that, they're going after the people at the bottom.
Right, which is always the case. I mean, I've said this forever, Breakman. Can I chime in here, Break? Because it's also my stinko as well, Breakman. I'm glad you brought it up because what I put on here, stinko of the week. No sick days for rail workers, right? Why is that a humane thing to do to anybody, right? To not give people sick leave? I don't understand this. Everybody in this country should get at least 2 weeks of sick leave. And especially rail workers. You know why? They work 7 days on and get 3 days off. You don't see how exhaustive that can be? Or somebody that works 4 days and then 3. So you work 7 days to get.
They're traveling from town to town. You don't want disease spreading from town to town like that.
Right.
If somebody's sick, you don't want them working.
The only way that anything like this changes is if all of those rail workers say, we are done with this treatment, we quit. That's what it's gonna take. It's going to take almost at least 3/4 of an industry, because I know there's always going to be at least 25% of people that say, well, I got a family to feed, et cetera, et cetera. I understand that. But all it would take would be for all of them to say, you know what? We quit. Now, any business, I don't care if it's fucking Walmart. If Walmart gets 75% of their people to say, I quit, and they walk out, guess what happens? You can't replace all those people right away. All those skilled people, because they are skilled people, even if they're in unskilled positions, right? They know what they're doing, and they get the job done for the most part, right? It's the same with rail workers. If 75% of those people would just quit, I guarantee that shit would change, right? They would probably try to rehire every single one of those workers and give them the benefits that they need. And sick pay should be 2 weeks national minimum that anybody offers for their workforce because of sickness. Do you want somebody going into work and getting everybody else sick? They always talk about people. They always talk about how sickness decimates the workforce sometimes, right? And how businesses lose lots of money. How about giving them sick pay so that they can stay home and recover and not bring home sicknesses to the businesses? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it happens all the time. The pandemic should have been a big wake-up call for sick pay. Right, Breakman?
Right. It should have, but it isn't. I don't understand. Like, see, I'm lucky because and quote-unquote lucky is because I get, like, what's called PTO, which is accumulated time, and I can use that for sick pay. But essentially, that's my vacation time.
Yes.
If I get sick.
Yeah, I think that's a bamboozle of employees because that's vacation pay, right? So you have to dip into your vacation in order. I mean, it's just bullshit. I've always hated PTO. And I think they should have two separate pools. You earn sick pay and you earn vacation time. 2 weeks sick pay and at least 1 or 2 weeks of vacation time. The end. And if you don't use your PTO, the company should have to give that to you at the end of the year and say, great job. You didn't get sick during the whole year. You didn't use your sick time. Here's your reward. We're going to give you PTO plus a holiday bonus, right? I mean, that would be great.
That's not how it happens.
No, it's not.
At the end of the year, for me,
you'd lose
when
it.
I know my year is going to be up, it's in May, by the way. I have to use all my vacation time, or you know what happens to it, Frank?
You lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's bullshit too, man. That's total fucking horseshit. You earned it. That's why you earned that time. You know, it's fucking bullshit. It's like people wanting, like the Republicans want to get rid of fucking Social Security. We earned that. You know, it shouldn't be a question. You should just go into the Social Security Administration. How much Social Security have I earned? And they say, well, Mr. So-and-so, you through your lifetime have earned this amount of money per month, or we can pay you one lump sum. Which would you prefer? You know? And then once you're done, you sign a paper, and that's it. They either give you the monthly, or they give you the lump sum, and sayonara, right? But
Right.
they don't. They want to take it all for themselves. It's fucking sick, man. This sick day thing pisses me off to no end, Break, man. It's bullshit. Yeah. Total bullshit. If I was those rail workers, I'd just be like, I'm done. See ya. You know, fuck them.
Have they done protests yet?
Well, of course not. They have to take it. What else can they do? Union busting Biden. Go ahead, Break.
Yeah, I mean, the president of the United States is putting pressure on him. It's not that easy right now for him, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking dumb. I feel bad. What else you got,
Is
Break?
anybody else doing protests on their behalf then?
Bernie Sanders, look, I know we're not in Bernie's camp anymore because of bullshit, right? But Bernie Sanders was the one that forced this fucking vote that failed for 7 fucking sick days. So he even got Republicans to come on over to vote for it. How many people can do that? Get Democrat. You know who one of the pieces of shits that didn't vote for it? I'll give you one guess, Break, man. Who do you think?
A Democrat, right?
Yeah, it's a Democrat that led the charge.
Would his first name be? Would his first name rhyme with Joe?
Yes, that's it. Stupid piece of shit Republican Joe Manchin, who parades as a Democrat. Other one, Kristen Sinema, of course, who I hope fucking gets primaried and gets knocked the fuck out of Arizona. Piece of shit, man. They're all fucking worthless, man. Bernie Sanders got Republicans to vote for this. It's a no-brainer. But they lost 48 to 53, I think, or some shit. I don't know, whatever it 42 to 50 something, 53 or something. They were 8 vote I think it was 8 votes shy of getting it to pass. All because, fuck the workers, fuck them, right? Ugh.
How dare we consider making the making the employers take care of their employees? How dare we?
Yeah. Eric, did you have a stinko? I didn't see one this week.
I didn't put one up, but I have to work 10 hours next week. It's
Ugh.
4 to 2.
That sucks.
I have to wake up even earlier now.
Ugh. I know. Fuck. I got another real quick one. Have you guys ever slept with your mouth open or breathed out of your mouth at night, and when you wake up, you're like, you just move around and then your lip kind of splits because you've been breathing out of your mouth all night? That's what happened to me yesterday. I was like, God damn it, that hurt so bad. Ugh.
No. I can say no. That time, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yesterday, that's what happened. It normally doesn't happen to me, but yesterday it happened. I slept.
I got a breaking deal for you guys.
Okay.
Dragon's Crown Pro for the PS4 is $4 on PSN right now for the end of the year sale.
Pick that up if you don't have it already. It's well worth it. Well worth it. All right. Let's move on to Sweetos.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweeto of the week!
All right, Breakman, your Sweeto of the week.
I think it's pretty hilarious that Trump-appointed judges are the ones that are making Trump's life hell right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah, I mean, He's got to be pissed. Like there's no way he thought that he was going to get in any trouble with that they would give his tax forms or anything like that. He's
Yeah.
like, I
Now,
got these guys in. There's no way they go against.
don't
me.
get me wrong, Breakman. Nothing. I mean, do we really believe he's gonna
No.
end up
It's
behind
fun
bars?
watching him sweat and
Yeah.
seeing him freak out on Truth Social or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
writing like these rambling paragraphs of just how angry he is,
Right.
how
right.
everybody's mean to him and shit like that. Like, wow,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah,
fucking
another
crybaby.
quick stinko is like I never thought I'd see the day when Alex Jones was saner than one of his guests, but that Kanye West and Nick Fuentes character were on his show, and actually Alex Jones seemed saner than both of those idiots. So it's really weird. But anyways, going back to yours, break. Sorry.
I'm concerned with like his fans like following him. You know.
Yeah, I mean it
A
is
lot
a,
of fans.
it is a concern. It is a concern. I mean, he's a billionaire for a reason. He sold a shit ton of records, right? So, yeah, I agree. I mean, black people calling Hitler great is the new trend, I think. I don't know, but
I don't think he understands what happened in the Holocaust.
I don't think he understands what happened with Hitler, the Holocaust,
Or
or
that.
anything for that matter. I think he's mentally ill, to be honest with you. I don't all this genius shit and all that. I don't agree with it, Breakman. I think he is
Notice
mentally ill.
only billionaires call themselves geniuses.
Yes.
Nobody else does
Yes, exactly. I don't think he's a genius. I really don't.
No.
So I mean, I
that.
hope he gets help.
I don't think he's stupid either.
Does
Don't
he
get me wrong.
understand that, like, if the Nazis were to take over the United States, that like he would be one of the first to be lynched and killed?
If he's truly mentally ill, then he probably doesn't. But
Right.
I don't know if this is really mental illness or just the guy
Without
who's
stupidity.
well, he's been indoctrinated into the the billionaire think club where everybody else is the enemy. You're going after my money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, eventually everybody is going to go after your money because there's going to be nothing left, right? It's going to be billionaires with all the money, everybody else with no money. What happens then? That's why I said we got to get away from the monetary system completely. Otherwise, this country is so fucked, man. The world is fucked if we don't get away from money, you know? That's why Star Trek is so interesting to me because it's a system that could potentially work. You know, I know people cry foul when I say that. You know, how dare the billionaires give up all their worldly possessions and we all work together for a better future. How dare we suggest that? You know, I don't know. But it just shows you how forward-thinking Gene Roddenberry was, you know, but whatever. All right, let's see. Eric, I didn't see a Sweeto for you. Did you have any more, Breakman?
Well, with Gene Roddenberry, like he imagined a world where racism had ended.
Yes, exactly.
Like it was, and people could work with other species like aliens and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and there was no.
It was always a
like-
euphemism for racism, like working with other races. And then he took it further to even hire black actors, which didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Unless you were on an all-black cast, like Good Times or something. You know, like it just didn't happen. Or Sanford and Son, something like that, you know. But, yeah, I mean, you're right, Break, for sure. All right. Eric, no Sweeto. Mine is, I've been really... Oh, Freak says when he gets home, he's going to type his latest tirade. We'll read it when you get there, buddy. No worries. But we're
I'm
gonna.
here for the tournament. Damn you, Freak! This
He's
is all
gonna-
your fault. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna be here for the tournament, which is great. But real quickly, I have been enjoying watching Breakman battle Nazis on Twitter for sure. It's been pretty fun, man. Today was real fun. I think you're gonna get our account suspended, but I really don't care.
I've been suspended almost every day.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I think
I worry about us getting like kicked off, but like
if
you
we
fucking
get
let Nazis back on, so what? I mean,
Look, Breakman, if you get kicked off, I will wear it as a badge of honor. Honestly, man, I'll be like, Breakman broke fucking Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm gonna look at it. You know, so no worries there whatsoever. All right.
I like the one guy I was just making fun of today. It's like, I'm a free thinking individual. And
I
stuff
saw
like
that.
This, but like, how can you judge this guy? Well, he served his time, and he's redeemed or no, he didn't serve his time. He was off Twitter, so he served his time, quote unquote. Sorry. And maybe he's changed and stuff like that. No, he's still running the same website that got him kicked off in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But instead of going, oh shit, like, oh, he's a Nazi, that guy doubled down on it and started defending himself against all the accusations and just kept digging his hole deeper and deeper. It's astounding to watch. Like,
yeah, it is. It is astounding for sure, man. All right.
Like watching people like side with Nazis, like
it's weird.
Like, and then they think that everybody else is the Nazi is the funny
right,
part. Like,
right. I mean, my grandfather fought in World War II against the Nazis. Fuck the Nazis. I think I can say that with 100% conviction. And fuck anybody that follows that ideology. Fuck anybody that has anything nice to say about Nazis, because Nazis were not nice to other people.
No.
Fuck all of them.
Yeah.
I
don't think we need to explain it to our listeners. I'm sure they all understand like how horrible the Holocaust was.
Right.
It was essentially anybody that wasn't blonde and blue-eyed was, the devil.
Yeah. And anybody that denies the Holocaust, and you're listening to the show, just go ahead and go somewhere else. I mean, you're not going to like this show anyways because, the Holocaust definitely happened as much as it hurts your fifis. And there's no need to defend that bullshit. And if you're going to defend that bullshit, we don't need you. So see you later. Not that it needed to be said, Breakman, but I just have a, place in my heart. My grandfather told me stories and, stuff. He was actually fucking there. So if anybody wants to tell me that it never happened, they're full of fucking shit. And I know I'm going by anecdotal evidence because I wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. My grandfather was a World War II veteran fucking hero. And we
Frank,
were... Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, but have you ever been to Japan?
No, I never have.
It still exists, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Just like South Korea exists, and I just got Bernie and I got this box from South Korea with snacks from South Korea. So I guess that's more plausible evidence that South Korea does exist, Breakman. So, yes, exactly.
I mean,
Fuck
you're
that.
getting hearsay evidence. You're only getting hearsay
Right,
that Japan
right.
exists because you've never been there.
Right.
By their stupid arguments.
Right. Okay, let's move on to our free-for-all. All right, Breakman, we have a new tournament this week. Can you please explain to everybody the rules of this tournament, what's going on, what it's about, etc.?
Essentially, 4 people gave me like lists of movies. I said 3 people, including myself, 4. Compiled a list of movies we hated, and I couldn't do them all. And honestly, if I wanted to, we could probably do like a 5,000.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I mean, God knows there are so many bad movies out there, but I managed to whittle this down to 64, and I put them all in their own little brackets so we can decide. If you don't want to start at the beginning, I've put them in different brackets. We have the drama bracket of the worst movie ever, the comedy bracket of the worst movie ever, the action bracket of the worst movie ever, and the bracket that's most notorious for bad movies, the horror bracket.
I think we should start at the top. Let's just start at the top and go through the list.
That's fine with me because I wanted to start with this one. Oh, God. I put this on this list. I hate this movie. It's a terrible, boring movie, and you're supposed to like have this feelings and care about this guy, and he goes to kill himself at the end, and or at the beginning of the movie, and you just watch his life, and by the end of the movie, if you're not rooting to change the channel, I don't know what you're watching.
Wait,
versus,
before we get this in here, Breakman, explain like, if we pick the movie, then we have to explain why it's on the list. Okay? Yeah.
And that would be Mac and Me to Frank, who put it on the list.
Mac and Me is an E.T. wannabe movie that does everything terribly. Not that E.T. was great by any stretch, because it was not, and you may or may not see it on this list later, but it was a cheap version of E.T. That just was shitty, and I think I watched about half of it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Bernie cried at the end of this movie because she probably saw this when she was a lot younger, but I guarantee if she was to see this movie now, she would be like, this is a piece of fucking garbage.
You misunderstood. She cried because it was so bad.
Yeah, I hope.
Like it made her cry. Like
right.
It was that bad.
Right. So, I don't know, man. This is a tough one. Who's going first, Break?
Since we both picked the movies, I think Eric should start.
Okay.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, but
it's like
Mac and Me
8 hours long.
I'm voting for Mac and Me though, because it was very uninteresting and terrible looking. I saw like at least 5 minutes of it. It was like I didn't want to watch it ever again.
I'm gonna go next, and I'm gonna give it to. I've never seen Mac and Me. I've just seen like previews of it, and it looked terrible. But the difference between these is A Wonderful Life is like 12 hours long, 24 hours long, or something. Like the movie never seems like it's ever gonna fucking end. Where Mac and Me is probably a lot shorter, so A Wonderful Life.
Okay, now I know I picked Mac and Me, but since you put it up against It's a Wonderful Life, I am in full agreement, Breakman. I hate It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's one of these holiday movies that people watch during Christmas, and I have no idea why people watch it for the reasons that you just stated. It's one of the longest, most boring, dumbest movies with Jimmy Stewart, who's usually pretty good, mostly in westerns and stuff like that. But it's this revered movie for what? This guy was going to kill himself and probably should have killed himself based on how shitty he was during this whole movie, right, Breakman? So
yeah, it wasn't. I don't advocate suicide. It's just,
no.
It
I'm just saying it's a movie, so we can pretend, right?
Okay. Well, okay, for the sake of the movie, okay.
Right. So it is a movie. It's not real life. Like, I'm big on mental health. You know that, Breakman.
I got to question whether it's real or not. But go on.
Okay. So, for that reason, I'm gonna give the slight edge to A Wonderful Life. I as much as I want to pick Mac and Me because it was like a shitty version of E.T. It's got to be Wonderful Life. If up against anything else, I might have picked Mac and Me, but this was just a perfect world scenario for Mac and Me where it does not advance.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot that should but won't.
Yes.
Next up, we have one from Eric, The Scarlet Letter.
Ooh, that's a good one. Why Scarlet Letter, Eric?
It was just I didn't get to see the whole time movie, but it just felt boring. I was like, I'd rather read the book than see this slow-paced film.
Yeah, garbage, yeah. All
right. Frank? Because you're Crash, as I forgot to say, because your movie is Crash.
My movie is Crash. Now, this is probably the only Oscar winner. I'm not 100% sure on that, Breakman, but this movie won Picture of the Year. And I have no clue why this movie was even nominated. It's basically about these woman that likes to crash her vehicle, and there's a police officer, Matt Dillon, who's also a piece of shit. None of the characters are likable. Nothing really happens in it other than a few car crashes. It is unequivocally one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen in my life.
You'd be better off watching the original Broadway play instead of watching that movie.
I don't know. Was this based on a Broadway play? I mean, holy
Yes.
fuck. Scarlet Letter, at least it had Demi Moore in it, and Demi Moore is pretty hot to look at least back then. Crash definitely is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I'm going with Crash, Breakman. Breakman, did we lose you?
Mm,
I think we might.
I'm sorry.
Think we might have lost Breakman. Hold on.
Sorry.
Oh, there you are. So it's up to
Okay,
you. You're the tiebreaker on this one, Breakman.
If we're talking about the original Scarlet Letter from like the 60s or something like that, I vaguely remember it. I think we watched it in school. It's like, we're reading the book, here, let's watch the stupid movie too. And I never saw Crash. But by your description of it, Frank, I'm gonna go with Crash.
Yeah.
Because if it's a bad movie winning awards, like, ugh.
Yeah, yep. It won Oscar, and I advise you to watch it, Breakman, just so you can see what a bad movie it is, man. It fucking blows. No value whatsoever in that movie. Every character is unlikable.
And the Scarlet Letter is based on a good book. The book is stuff like it's a horrifying story, but it's a good book. Yeah.
Yes.
Next, we have The Breakfast Club versus Star Trek V. I put both of these on here, so I'll go ahead and do them both.
Okay.
Breakfast Club goes back to these boring movies. It's about kids in detention, a bunch of different kids bonding and getting to know each other. It's supposed to be a funny, feel-good, like dramedy type thing. It's a boring piece of shit. Even guys like Emilio Estevez, who I love, are in it, and it's still a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Star Trek V, which of all the Star Treks I think was the absolute worst movie.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Star Trek V is the one where they go searching for God.
Yes.
Because this one guy wants to find God, and there's this whole...
I can't wait to watch it and see how terrible it is.
Oh, dude, it's...
I still need to watch 4 in that, and then whatever comes afterwards.
Hold on. What are you looking for? Oh.
So anyway, so with Star Trek V, there's also this one scene where Bones talks about how he had to kill his mom, and then they found like a cure like a week later or something like that. This movie's like depressing on top of boring, and it was just like.
Also, it feels like it's an invasion of the religious from an atheist who made the series.
It was really weird.
Why are you perverting my work this way?
Yeah.
I don't even remember the end of it at this point. It's been so long.
I know. I can. Basically, they have a confrontation with God, Kirk, and I think it was either.
God wasn't.
No. Hold on, Eric.
The red disc
it wasn't God. It was just a fake God. So they find out that it's a fake God, and they, basically destroy the fake God. But it was Kirk, and I don't know if it was Spock or Bones that was with.
I think it was
Kirk.
Bones.
Yeah, it could have been Bones.
I don't really remember.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, and I don't wish to really remember it. But I do remember there are a couple of good scenes, like where Kirk is like really like having this deep philosophical conversation with God. If you're God, why are you so terrible right now? Why are you being an asshole, basically? But other than that, the movie's trash. I agree. But
yeah,
what do you?
Since these are both mine, I'm gonna go ahead and put. I'm gonna say Breakfast Club is the worst. Is worse because at least it's Star Trek, and 5 wasn't the end. Thank God. Star Trek 6 came out and it was great.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because if that was the last Star Trek movie, I mean, of the original 5, I was like, oh my God.
I know.
Or 6 was a great movie.
2, 4, and 6 were pretty good, from what I remember. Yeah,
exactly. Even number ones were good for whatever reason. The odd ones weren't. I don't understand it. Nobody else does, but it's true. So, like I said, I'm going to go with Breakfast Club because it's the kids at the end, like they're trying to break out of detention and stuff like that. And the quote-unquote villain is just a school administrator trying to do his fucking job and discipline bad kids. So, Frank, you can go next.
Okay. I'm going to agree with you, Breakman, just for the reasons that I stated. Like, at least there are a couple of scenes in Star Trek V worth examining and analyzing. The Breakfast Club was just one of these quote-unquote coming-of-age movies, but all it is a bunch of teenage fucking angst with boring-ass fucking characters, and it meant absolutely fucking nothing to no one. And it was way exalted at the time. I remember people talking about the Breakfast Club like it was the greatest thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Did I just watch the same movie you guys watched? Breakfast Club for me.
Were they in it for the soundtrack? Because
the soundtrack was great. Yeah.
But to be fair, in the 80s, a lot of soundtracks were great.
Yeah, that is true. Well, yeah, I'm going with Breakfast Club, Eric.
So
The movie was good because I remember the tunes.
Yeah.
So
You
you're
might
going
as well
Star Trek
might have
5?
watched a music video instead and waste your time on a movie. Because or a bunch of music videos for each of those songs.
So you picking Breakfast Club too, Eric?
Okay.
Next,
I haven't
we
even
have...
seen it, and I have no desire to see it because it seems like an overrated piece of shit.
Yeah, it is.
It's very overrated. Frank's description was very accurate. Next, we have Grease, which is by Frank.
Yes. I picked Grease because this is another overrated piece of fucking trash. Why musicals in general are exalted is beyond me. Like, there are certain ones, like Rocky Horror Picture Show is a great one. I like Little Shop of Horrors pretty good. But I really I don't really like show tune movies all that much, but there are a few standouts out there. And why Grease is put in the pantheon of great musical movies, I will never understand.
If you want to do a Broadway play, then do a Broadway play. Don't make a movie out of it.
So, but this movie is interesting in the fact that again, are we supposed to root for any of these fucking characters? Like, it's this horny chick and this horny dude, and they want to fuck each other, pretty much. Like, what is so fucking profound about it? They're singing, okay, singing and dancing. There's plenty of other great singing and dancing movies out there. This is not one of them, in my opinion. All right.
And the sequel at least has a young Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. But still, piece of shit. That one too.
Right.
But,
I'm just saying it's just slightly better because of that one.
yeah, so there's my explanation why I put Grease on the list, Breakman.
I put E.T., the Spielberg ginormous mega hit. It was another boring movie. Like, it was this feel-good alien movie, and it's supposed to be a touching story. Like, it's a little alien that wants to go home, and you're dealing with of course, what you would deal with in real life, the FBI and scientists and all them trying to take him in.
By the way, the government is doing the right thing in that case, right? You have a fucking alien species from a different planet on your planet. Who knows what kind of fucking diseases or alien technology that could totally destroy us. Of course they want to fucking examine this fucking alien, right? So why are they the bad guys? I don't know. It was just really fucking weird, but okay.
And to top that off, if that wasn't bad enough, back in the 90s, remember what Spielberg did to E.T.?
What are you talking about?
When he did the re-release of E.T.? In the original, the FBI and the scientists, stuff like that, they had guns.
Yep, and he took the guns out.
When he re-edited it in the 90s, or maybe it was early 2000s, I think it was 90s, but like when him and Lucas were redoing their stuff, he edited the guns out to make them microphones, or not microphones, walkie-talkies.
Yes, and that was shitty.
Bootlicking.
Since these are both ours, Eric, you can start.
I'm gonna vote for Grease because it's super greasy.
I'll go next, and I will. E.T.'s supposed to be cute and whatever like that, and there's a terrible video game based on him. But he never sang, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of terrible music in Grease. So definitely Grease.
Yeah, I'm going with Grease as well. At least in E.T., like, there is some value in the relationship between the aliens and the kids, right? And it had that really cool scene with it basically is the emblem now with E.T. like using his telekinetic power, which is another reason why we should have been terrified of this fucking E.T. He has fucking telekinetic powers. Jesus Christ, he could have crushed us all. But that scene in the moon. So, but it's got to be Grease, man. Grease is fucking awful.
Next up, and Grease moves on with again, we have a unanimous decision. We had a couple on here so far. Next, we start out with Castaway by Frank.
Yes, Castaway is a fucking boring-ass movie that's exalted for some weird reason, Breakman. People love this movie, and I have no idea why. Like, what is... Because Tom Hanks is in it? not every movie with Tom Hanks is an absolute fucking gem, right? All you got to do is look. Another one I should have put of Tom Hanks in here is Forrest Gump. I think
hate you. I'm not talking to you ever again.
Forrest Gump fucking sucks.
You suck. You fucking suck.
But not nearly as bad as fucking Castaway, right? Castaway.
Let me ask you one question on Castaway. And within 5 minutes of the movie, didn't you know already what the ending was going to be?
Yes.
Like you knew his wife, like he was going to get back to his wife, and she was going to be remarried.
Right. You knew that like first of all, you knew he was going to be rescued, right? If the movie had ended with him just being on that island, I would have respected it a lot more. But you knew he was going to get rescued. You knew his life was going to be upended because he had, his wife would have moved on, which she probably should have after all those years. I mean, it just was fucking awful. Spielberg this was Spielberg again, right?
I don't remember.
It's one of the big ones, Spielberg or one, but I mean, what the fuck is this movie? So you have a guy that's by himself that goes crazy. Really, that's news to me. I mean, of course, anybody who's a castaway that's away from society for that long is going to lose their fucking mind, right? So okay, and then he comes to find. So you wanna make us go through this movie, and then you want to make us feel bad at the end of the movie too. So
right. You felt bad the entire movie. You want to kick us some more? Okay.
Right. And then I'm curious about the next one. Break.
Next one is one of the ones I've hated for a very long time. The Wizard of Oz. Another musical like Grease. They got to do these stupid songs at certain points. And everybody knows the tale. A little girl goes to a magic land by a flying house. What's that? Well, she's supposed to be a little girl, but she's more of an adult, because Hollywood doesn't know how to cast people, right? Yeah, same with Grease. They're supposed to be kids, but
they're fucking 30-year-old fuckers running around.
But the Wizard of Oz, like that. So she comes to the magical land to save them and stuff like this. But have you ever thought she comes in a house and the first thing she does is kill somebody she's never met before? She doesn't know if that person's a threat or anything. She immediately steals that person's clothes and then tells her sister, "No, I'm not going to give them back to you." Mm-hmm. And then she, goes through this journey where she meets a guy who's, a lion that needs courage and a tin man that needs a heart, and and the straw man, and they have their happy-go-lucky.
It's a porn waiting to happen, right, Breakman? Like,
it is so dumb. The whole movie was dumb. I hated it. The Lollipop Guild, these singing little munchkins. I'm not calling them munchkins.
It was based on a book. Is the book any good though?
Well, the book is actually a lot darker.
Yeah,
see, that's the thing. The book is based on was a really dark tale. That's why the sequel is very dark.
Yeah.
Whereas they turned this into like the first color movie. And that was the big selling point of this movie. Is like most of the movies in color when parts of it are in black and white. But that's that's fine. We've got 1 billion color movies now. That's fine.
Who's going first on this one? Break.
I will go first with the Wizard of Oz. Frank.
Okay. A real quick side note I'm not picking Wizard of Oz because there are some good things about Wizard of Oz. The color thing you mentioned, which I think was innovative and cool, the first color movie, and half of it. Oh, but hold on. There's something else that's really cool in this movie, and it is the fucking winged monkeys, which scared the fuck out of a lot of the kids. And any movie that can scare kids like that, a supposed kid movie, is A-okay by me. So. With that, it's definitely Castaway because Castaway was definitely a more boring movie. So, Castaway for me.
I don't even want to see Castaway because of everything you described about it. So I'm going to Castaway.
I didn't do a good enough job to sell Wizard of Oz. Okay, next up we have Perfect Storm by Frank.
Okay, as boring as Castaway was. Take that and put that on the sea with shitty Mark Wahlberg and shitty George Clooney. Why George Clooney is exalted as a great actor is beyond me. I've never seen a movie with George Clooney in it where I thought, man, he acted really, really good. He was so good in this movie, right?
He seems like the same guy in almost every movie.
He's one dimensional. The only thing that somebody could say to me is that he's good looking, and holy fuck, do I think he's one of the ugliest A-list actors out there, right? So for me, I mean, Perfect Storm is basically about these sailors that go out to sea, and that's about it. That's it. They go out to sea. That's their job. They go out to. I don't know if they're fishing. I think they're fishing. I think that's why they were going out there. But it's supposed to be this epic about these two, this crew of guys, including these two, that go out there to, battle the fucking waves to get their catch or whatever, like a Moby Dick type moment. And it never culminates in that. And all you see at the end is George Clooney at the helm of this boat going up against this big wave. So what the fuck is what I almost
saw that the scene in Forrest Gump where him and Dan were out at sea, and it's like, let's make a whole movie based on that idea.
Holy fuck, is it bad, man? Like I was in the movie theater to see this because I was excited because the trailers are pretty exciting. They're showing like these sailors out there, like,
That's where I disagree. Like, I saw the trailers for it and lost complete interest.
No, I was interested because I thought the trailers they looked kind of cool. It's like, it's going to be, I don't mind a good drama, right? I like dramatic movies. So, I was like, okay, I mean, couple of A-list actors, with some good banter, and maybe they'll explain why they're out there doing what they're doing, and everything's gonna be cool, right? And they're gonna go up the storm scenes are gonna be amazing, right? No, nothing is amazing about this movie at all whatsoever. So that's why I picked Perfect Storm.
Perfect Storm is going up against one that I put on here, Requiem of a Dream. We talked earlier about a movie that kind of kicks you where you're down and keeps kicking you and kicking you and kicking you.
Oh, yeah.
And then when it's over, you feel absolutely miserable from watching it. That'd be Requiem from a Dream. It just gets worse and worse. What'd you say?
It's for a dream. Requiem for a dream.
Yeah, Requiem for a Dream.
For a Dream, sorry. Requiem for a Dream is about 4 people. A mother who wants to lose weight because she's going to be on her favorite game show. She won tickets to be on it. Her son and his friend and his girlfriend, and their lives and how they're affected by drug use.
Yes.
The mother gets on diet pills and goes insane. The son gets on heroin and loses an arm.
Yep.
The friend smokes pot and ends up in jail, and the woman does crack, and she ends up as a prostitute.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
that's it. Yeah, and it's the movie just keeps getting bad and bad and bad until it gets worse, and it was just, and I get it, like that's the point of the movie, but fuck, there's no way I could watch that shit.
Can I go first on this one? Break. I know that Eric didn't pick either of these movies, but look, Requiem. I own Requiem for a Dream, but Requiem for a Dream is a movie that you want to see once and never see again, just for what Breakman said. I think it's an excellent movie. Now, do I want to watch this movie and think that it's gonna like make me feel good? Hell no. But when I want to watch a movie that I can say, man, my life is way better than any of these people's lives, this is the movie to go to, Requiem for a Dream. For me, the worst of the two movies is Perfect Storm. Like I said, I own Requiem Dream. I think it's a fantastic movie to deter people from drug use. So for that reason, for me, it's definitely Perfect Storm for all the reasons that I said. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, Requiem of a Dream was great acting. Like, there were great performances in it, but it was just, and I get the point of the story being that, like, it's an anti-drug movie, and it's saying, like, your loves are going to spiral out of control and going to end miserably, but it's a miserable movie to watch. It's just, I do not want to watch it again. So I'm going with Requiem for a Dream, sorry, and Eric, you again get to be the tiebreaker.
I'm voting for Perfect Storm.
Perfect Storm is probably one of the most boring nothing happened movies. At least stuff happens in Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Yeah. No, I understand,
and-
but at least something
and
happens.
These characters, like I said, it's well acted, so you feel for these characters. Like, these aren't like, it isn't like watching Friday the 13th and you're like, I don't fucking care who he kills, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't want to see terrible things happen to these people. And they're like, no, don't do that. Oh, you're going to do that. No, don't do that. Oh, you are. No, stop. Too late.
Right. All right, continue on.
Next, we have Jiggly, which is from Frank.
Oh, Jiggly. How can I describe Jiggly? A non-love story with two people who have no chemistry on screen or off screen. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. It's supposed to be a romantic comedy, I think, but it's so boring and nothing happens again. And, you know, I guess they get together and they fall in love and what? That's my, when I finished that movie, my first reaction was what? That was my reaction to Jiggly. It was so nothing. So that's why I put it on the list.
Okay, I put on the list Tequila Sunrise, and let me list some names for you, Frank, and see what you would think of a movie with these names in it from the '80s, from the late '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Gibson.
Oh,
Michelle
Mad Max.
Pfeiffer,
Yeah, Mad Max.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Raul Julia.
Ooh. It's sounding really good. Like, is this
It's
an
the
action?
most boring movie ever made.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
pretty boring.
happens ever. There's nothing in this movie that grabs your attention at any point.
Is there any sex in it? Boobs.
No.
Damn it.
It's boring. It's the most boring movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think I've seen this movie too. I mean, these are two boring ass fucking movies that involve nothing. Yeah.
And this one's got like A-list cast, you know. This has got like superstars of the '80s.
Yeah.
And I mean, Raul Julia.
I know.
Raul fucking Julia was in this movie.
I know. Mel
I mean,
Gibson.
He was the only good thing about the Street Fighter movie, for God's sake.
I know.
If he wasn't in Street Fighter, none of us would even fucking remember it.
Right.
You know.
Hey, Freak 5, let us know when you're done, and we'll read your epic rant here. He's got like a book here for us to read. Yeah.
And I saw Jiggly and Julie, which was stupid. I didn't think boring. I felt stupid as I
Yeah.
was watching
Stupid
that movie.
is a good.
Stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why. Why did they make this movie? But at the same time, stupid is more interesting than fucking boring. Tequila Sunrise. That was the worst thing. So I'm going Tequila Sunrise. Frank.
Ooh, this is a tough one because I've seen both of these movies, Breakman, and
Both times.
I'm just gonna pick Jiggly just to see what Eric says based on our descriptions.
Yeah, see, if Michelle Pfeiffer showed her boobs in Tequila Sunrise, that would not be on this list.
Right,
Just
I
saying.
agree.
Like, there's no nudity in Tequila
I
Sunrise.
haven't seen either of these, so
You're lucky.
I think I'm gonna vote for Tequila Sunrise because
Nice.
it sounds a lot like another movie I had on my list.
All right.
You got an A-list cast, but just a horrible story.
I don't
Okay.
disagree with that because I totally forgot
I
about.
don't know about A-list, but there are some A-listers in it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, for the '80s, like Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, like that was definitely.
All right, let me
A-list.
read Freak 5's epic rant here before we move on.
Well,
We'll take.
hold on. Let's finish.
Oh,
it
let's
from-
finish this and then
we
we'll
only
do
have
the
one
rest.
left.
Okay.
And we'll finish this, and then we'll move, and then you can do that. We're going to start, and the reason I want to do this is because Eric hasn't got to get a turn yet, so it's
Okay.
his turn. Finally getting a turn. Sound of Music, which I put on here because I've said it many times. It was a movie I hated so much. With the singing was terrible, the cast was terrible. At the end of the movie, I was hoping the Nazis killed them. Not them escaping. I just wanted them all dead in the movie. The end. Versus Cool World, which Eric's choice.
Why did you pick Cool World, Eric?
Just because it sounds like a cool premise, and then I didn't watch the entire movie, but what little I had seen of it, it just felt like it completely fell on its ass at some point.
Yeah.
This was an early Brad Pitt movie, and it was a mixture of live action and cartoons. And like Eric said, it had an awesome premise.
Why do you
or
keep
however want
saying
to-
it that way?
Well, there's two
Just to
ways of
annoy
saying
you.
that. Premise, the same thing. We know what you're saying, Break.
It
It's all
just
good.
annoys and yeah, I absolutely agree with you. This movie was fucking boring, and yeah, I hated Cool World. I wish I hadn't seen all of it. But I can't go against Sound of Music. I would rather watch Cool World because at least they don't fucking sing. There's no do re mi or do a dear.
Oh God, man!
Christ, they made us sing that in school for fuck's sake. Fuck the Sound of Music. Fuck that song. Fuck that movie. Fuck the cast. Fuck the Sound of Music.
Okay. I think
that's my vote.
I think Eric should go next.
Frank, or actually, my vote's for that. Eric, what are you?
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Sound of Music, but it's a musical, so maybe I should vote against it.
I was hoping you'd say Cool World so I could be the tiebreaker, Eric.
But I'm voting for Sound of Music because anything that's that old in a musical doesn't deserve to live, in my opinion.
All right, I am also going with The Sound of Music because at least the character design of the chick in Cool World, coupled with Kim Basinger, I believe, did the voice, is fine with me. Sound of Music it should have been called The Sound of Stupidity and Boringness. Because I agree with you. Everything that you said, Breakman, about sound, why it's a beloved fucking musical is beyond me. I mean, Julie Andrews is great, and I love Julie Andrews, and she's got a great voice, but the songs were so... all the songs you mentioned that you had to sing in school, and
oh my God, they made us sing in school. You don't understand, Eric, how horrible it was.
Sound of Music definitely awful, man.
They'd make us watch musicals in school and then give us the sheet music to fucking sing the
songs. Yes.
Fucking
awful, man.
I remember that one and Fiddler in the Roof and.
Fiddler in the Roof should have been on this fucking list too, man. Fucking boring.
There's another one I can't. There are a few more I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, the Sound of Music is one.
All right, let me do this rant real quick. So Freak5 says last Friday, the worst employee in his department got to leave early after the supervisor who let her leave told me and the other person on the night shift that another department needed help and we should go help them. Supervisor later told a pharmacist that she wouldn't have let the other person leave if she knew that department was behind. Not to mention there was other work needed to be done. So me and the night person helped that department until we went to lunch and our night truck showed up after we finished the truck 2 hours before we were scheduled to leave. Pharmacist said we could leave an hour early if we helped a different department for an hour. Monday, our supervisor was upset, saying we needed to ask other departments if they need help before we leave. We were told we didn't help the first department like we were asked to, etc. But the person she let leave, she didn't ask if the other departments needed help. So yesterday, I get to work and see a notice of an all-employee meeting, and I think, what bullshit are they giving us now? First, they are changing the attendance policy, so all the people who have lots of bad marks for calling in sick a lot, making extra work for those who rarely call in sick, get all those bad marks wiped away. Not mentioned in the meeting, but one of the requirements for the techs getting their bonus was to be in good standing, so all techs with shitty attendance who weren't going to get the bonus will suddenly be in good standing. And it must be a recent decision to change the attendance policy because they didn't tell us what it is yet. So it's probably in response to techs with bad attendance complaining. So they were listened to, but others who complained because we were just ignored with the retention bonus were told too bad. An employee, rightfully unnamed, is having financial problems. The head of the facility is asking the employee to donate money to help this employee out. I'm not sure which would be worse, if the person is a tech that the company is already giving $1,500 to, or if it's a non-tech that the company would give $1,500 to, just like they are giving to the techs. We were also told that starting next year, our yearly raises will be tied to our reviews. I haven't had a review in about 3 years, and the two criteria affecting our raise up or down in our reviews are production, and my department has no production measures. The other criteria is having a good mood. Oh boy, I hate this fucking bullshit good mood nonsense, Freak5. They pissed off most of the facility by announcing a small part of the facility is getting that retention bonus, and now your raise can be lowered if your supervisor knows you were upset about it. Okay, done with the stinko part. My Sweeto has a couple of stinko points in it. We're getting raises on next week's checks, which is normal. Everybody gets a raise at the end of the year. Next year will be the first time it's tied to reviews. Coworker was told he was having a review, and I asked when I would get one, and I was told the anniversary of my hire date. That coworker never got a review, so no idea if I will, but I was hired in February, so I am hoping after next week's raise, I will get another in 2 months. Another part of my Sweeto, coworker in the night shift with me has been trying to get my department night shift differential and has been told they would look into it and heard nothing back. Today she took it to the top guy. He used to be in charge of the facility, but when they opened more facilities, he was promoted to run all the similar facilities. So this guy didn't know that they had changed our hours to stay an hour later, and he said that it isn't our responsibility to help other departments. So hopefully he will improve some things for me. So there you go. That's great. Freak 5 sucks on the other part, but hey, welcome to corporate America and capitalism time, Freak 5, pretty much. So, all right, let's move on with the tourney break.
All right, you guys want to do comedy, action, or horror? And if we do horror, I want Freak to call in because several of these are his.
All right, let's go into comedy, man. I mean, okay. Fuck it, we'll just go down the road.
This is my favorite bracket. I like comedy movies. Joe Dirt. Wait, who put in Joe Dirt?
Frank did, I think.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, Joe Dirt. Frank, go ahead.
Well, Freak 5 put in Joe Dirt 2, but I think Joe Dirt 1 is just a bit as shitty.
Joe Dirt 2's on here. Yeah, I guess I forgot about Joe Dirt 2.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one of his in here on this one.
Yeah, it's just a shitty movie, like with a little bit of racist undertones to it. I mean, to me, it has no value whatsoever. I didn't find any of the jokes funny. I didn't even chuckle, I think, but maybe one or two small chuckles during the whole fucking movie. I didn't think it was funny. David Spade was well past his prime in his comedic sense when this movie was made, and the fact that they made a 2 was just like, who the fuck watched this first fucking piece of shit movie? So that's why I put it on the list.
Okay, now you put the second one on the list, My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Okay, My Big Fat Greek Wedding gets put on this list because A, my ex loved it, and B, I fucking hated it because it's not funny for the most part. There are a couple of small little things. The premise is ridiculous. Like this chick, like okay, two people fall in love. What is so fucking great about that premise? Like, people fall in love all the time. Now that doesn't mean I don't like movies where people fall in love. It just means that this movie did a run of the mill nerdy chick kind of likes this guy and is nervous around him, and he likes her. But he doesn't really want to say he likes her, but they end up together, right? So that's the premise of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, set behind the drop of, a bunch of Greek people, which, okay, I'm okay with, people sharing culture and ideas and stuff like that, but it didn't make it any more interesting to me. Like, every culture has their quirks, right? Why are these quirks any funnier than anybody else's quirks, in my opinion? So, I mean, that's the reason why I put this one on there. Break.
Okay. Since you put them both, I think me and Eric should start. I'll go ahead and start.
Yeah.
I've seen Joe Dirt. I haven't seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Joe Dirt is okay. Like, I didn't think it was like the worst movie ever, but it wasn't like, oh, this is good, I'll watch this again type thing. But like I said, I've never seen Big Fat Greek Wedding, so I'm gonna go Joe Dirt.
All right,
Eric.
I'm voting for My Big Fat Greek Wedding, even though I didn't see it. I never have a desire to see it, and it's billing itself as a comedy, but it's actually more of a romance movie than was it doing as a comedy.
Well, there are a lot of like blended genres in here, so I tried to fit them into certain brackets.
Yeah, I'm going with My Big Fat Greek Wedding because, like I said, it was like one of my ex's favorite movies, and I never understood why. Like, there was really nothing in it. Like, the big thing was the grandpa was like, he used Windex for everything, so he's like, just use Windex, and that's supposed to be really hilarious for some reason. Just use Windex for everything.
Also, I don't know. Like, weren't they in their like 40s or something? Maybe it's like a romance movie for people that are in their 40s.
Yeah, like older, like 30s maybe. I don't know, but yeah, it's like exactly. But there's just nothing good about this movie. Just and they made a sequel to it, which was just as terrible. But yeah, my big fat
There's
greedy.
a sequel to that one. I knew there was a Joe Dirt too, but there's a Big Fat Greek
Yes,
Wedding too.
yes, there is, and it's terrible. It's just as terrible.
Ooh, okay, well, speaking of terrible, this movie I put on here, Bad Santa. I can't stand Billy Bob Thornton. I can't really explain why, but like I think he's a terrible actor, and he ruins everything for me that he's in. And all the jokes just fall flat in this movie. Like the kid that he's like crashing with or whatever he's doing with that kid, like he's just not really a likable kid. I mean, yeah, like I didn't care about him. Like Billy Bob's Santa that wanted to fuck every woman in the ass, which was supposed to be like this hilarious joke. Like, because I had no friends that liked the movie, and they're like, "Oh, it's so funny. He wants to fuck him in the ass." Okay, he likes anal. That's okay. They could tell the joke better because they didn't really do a good job telling it. So fuck Bad Santa and Zoolander, which I volunteered for Eric because he's many times said how he hates Zoolander.
I have Zoolander 2. I never said I hated Zoolander.
You've said you hate Zoolander.
I said I hate Zoolander 2.
No, because we argued with you about Zoolander.
Yeah.
I just said it's just not a movie I didn't like. I never said I hated it.
Okay, well, still, it's on the list. But can I go first on this one?
Yeah,
Right?
go ahead.
I'm not gonna pick Bad Santa, and I'll tell you why. There's one scene where he is fucking this chick, and I thought it was pretty funny because she was like, "Fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa, fuck me." You know, that was to me that's what made that movie fun. That particular scene, but I agree with you for the rest. The rest of the movie was just bad. But so I'm picking Zoolander just for that reason. At least there was a scene where the chick was like
There's
getting
a Bad
off on.
Santa too, by the way.
Yes, there is, and it's bad too. But I'm picking Zoolander. I'm sorry, break.
Eric, which one do you?
I'm picking Bad Santa.
Bad Santa. I am also picking Bad Santa.
Oh,
Bad Santa's moving on.
You guys suck, man. Fuck me,
I
Santa.
actually like Zoolander.
The fuck me, Santa scene was awesome, man. How dare you guys?
Okay. Next, we have one from Frank. Jack and Jill.
Oh, God. One of the worst movies I think I've ever seen in my life. This is Adam Sandler playing both Jack and Jill, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're correct. It is both the sister and the brother, yes.
And all the jokes fall flat. Like, there's really...
Isn't this like the last movie he did until like he did a bunch of Netflix stuff?
No, this is a Netflix movie, I believe.
Oh.
I think
I
this...
think this came out earlier than
Oh,
that.
really? Wow.
I think this was like before he started doing... Like went into doing drama, like
Oh, I got you. Like gems, hidden gems,
Uncut Gems,
yeah, stuff like that.
Uncut, yeah. I just think it's just, I don't know. You talk about low rent comedy, and sometimes I like low rent comedy, but there was just nothing funny about this particular brand of low rent comedy. To me, this is Adam Sandler's worst movie. I like Adam Sandler. I like his dramatic side, and I like some of his humor, like Billy Madison. I really liked. There's even Hubert Halloween. I thought was really good.
I liked Hubert Halloween, yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween, you mean?
Whatever it was called, like he's Hubie and
Hubie Halloween.
Like no matter what he's doing, like they're throwing stuff at him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, I kind of like that movie. I thought it was charming and had its good points. Even like that movie where he was a devil. I can't remember that movie's name, but I thought Little Nicky. I thought that was pretty good.
Waterboy.
Yeah, Waterboy was okay. I mean, just Jack and Jill was just the lowest of the low. That's why I put it on the list, man.
To me, his best movies were his first two, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, and it really just went down from there. And Jack and Jill was, like I said, it went down from there, and Jack and Jill was like at the end of this period. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jack and Jill is an absolutely abysmal movie. But the next movie I think is even worse. The Garbage Pail Kids. That's right, kids. Those cards that you used to collect that made fun of the Cabbage Patch Kids, they fucking turned into a comedy back in the 80s, and it was the most unfunny movie I've ever seen. It was kind of depressing, too. Like, the Garbage Pail Kids were aliens from another race, and most of them had been wiped out at that point. and bad special effects, and it's just one of those movies you're like, why did they make this?
Mm-hmm.
This is bullshit. This should not exist.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie. It scarred me for life.
Ooh. So I guess I guess it's up to Eric, right? I mean,
I haven't seen either of these, but
you're lucky.
Yeah.
But I'm voting for Garbage Pail Kids, I guess.
Yeah.
I am also voting for Garbage Pail Kids. Sorry, Frank.
Yeah, I'm voting for Jack and Jill because I just think it's one of the worst fucking pieces of junk. Garbage Pail Kids, at least it had Garbage Pail Kids in it.
Go watch the movie. You will agree with me after you watch.
I've seen it. I've seen the movie, man.
Look at Garbage Pail Kids, and you still like.
I think Jack and Jill is a worse movie than but I think Garbage Pail Kids is garbage as well. but I mean, all these movies are pretty much garbage, man, except for a couple. But
well, I mean, yeah, you're right. There are a few that are real subjective, depending on how people feel.
Right.
Next is not really subjective. This is a terrible movie. Frank, you brought us this one. Bucky Larson.
Oh, Bucky Larson is one of those skits from Saturday Night Live, but way worse than any skit on Saturday Night Live.
They made a movie off the skit. I don't even remember.
I don't think it was a skit even on.
It's like not a skit, but he's saying it was like an.
Yeah, and I like Nick Swartzen. I think he's actually really funny stand up and all that. But holy fuck, is this movie like worthless? Like it's about this bucktooth guy that's getting into porn. I don't even know what the fucking premise was. That's how fucking bad it was. So bad. Bucky Larson is probably one of the worst one of the biggest budgeted movies ever made, in my opinion. So yeah, it's definitely on this list.
Eric, Zoolander 2.
I'm voting for Zoolander 2.
No, you gotta tell us why Zoolander 2 is on this list. It's your movie.
It's okay. Zoolander Fun was an alright movie with a few jokes here and there, but Zoolander 2 was like the most unnecessary sequel ever. And it's about them having the kids, or one of them having a kid, and then the other one they're basically retired, and it was just. It's like all the good jokes from Zoolander 1 just weren't present at all. Like they didn't have any of the same kind of energy, and it was just, oh, look at this! A goofy thing happened. Let's laugh.
Okay. Since I am actually the one who I've seen both of these movies, but I didn't select either one of them. I actually have to agree with Frank. Bucky Larson, like it's one of those movies like. I don't think I watched all of it. I'm pretty sure I stopped watching it just because it was like, fuck this.
The only good thing about Zoolander 2 is that Bieber dies in the beginning.
Yeah.
So my pick is.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Bucky Larson break because of everything I said. It's just an awful movie, and I like Nick Swartzen a lot. I think he's really funny. He was really funny in Grandma's Boy.
Yeah. He was good in Grandma's Boy, and Eric's right. I mean. Zoolander 2 is the most unnecessary sequel that's probably ever existed.
Yeah. Are you picking Zoolander 2, Eric?
Zoolander.
Yeah. Eric, you picking Zoolander?
That's also many years after the original. It's like they didn't even make it immediately after the first movie. It's like, well, I wonder what took so long and why they ended up making it in the first place.
Money,
but
it's a money grab.
But I'm voting for Zoolander 2 because I have no frame of reference for Bucky Larson.
Oh man, you should watch Bucky Larson, Eric. I think you'd agree, man. So bad. All right.
Next, we have one that both me and Frank agree on. I'll let Frank do the description on it. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh God, Mrs. Doubtfire is one of those movies where so basically the premise of the movie is this guy creeps his way. Into drag to go. Not that there's anything wrong with drag, but he dresses as a woman so he could get involved back with his kid's life. So his ex-wife is being stalked by himself, and this is supposed to be an endearing movie, a feel-good movie, right? And it was a box office smash, and I remember when I first saw this movie thinking the same thing that I'm thinking now. This motherfucker should be in fucking jail for a very fucking long time. Long time. Because he's an asshole. And throughout the whole movie, we're supposed to think he's one of these charming, people that just wants to be close to his kids.
We're supposed to love him.
Yes, yes. And I hello! And I'm like, I want to fucking punch this motherfucker in his mouth for doing what he's doing, is what I was thinking the entire time. I never...
It's like you're thinking at the beginning of the movie, you see him in court and the judge saying, like, you're an actor and I don't believe you. Like, yeah, the judge was fucking right.
Right.
You know?
Right. And see, this goes back to, like, the Breakfast Club, how the administrator was just doing his job. Well, this judge was just doing his job. And
he was doing the right thing, obviously, because the guy's unhinged to do what he did.
Yes. And that's why I put it on here. And that's also going to be my pick because I know what it's going up against. Break.
Next is Talladega Nights, and this is from Eric.
I'm going to vote for...
No, you got to tell us why you put it on the list.
Oh, all right. I was just thinking of movies at the top of my head. I really didn't put much thought into it, but I guess if I had to pin it for anything, is that Will Ferrell just stopped being funny after SNL. In my opinion, he kind of failed to take off solo, and I think his only success in the theaters was probably the first Anchorman movie. The second Anchorman movie, maybe, because there's a fair number of jokes in the second movie that were pretty funny. But
I agree with Eric on this, though, Break. I think Talladega Nights should definitely be on this list because it was awful. It wasn't that funny. But still, Miss Doubtfire's worse.
But I think the only good joke in Talladega Nights is when they all had their corporate fast food dinner and prayed to Jesus.
Yeah.
But that was it.
I actually do not hate Talladega Nights. It's not like one of those. It's not world-beating comedy, but it's like if I can't reach the remote control, it's like okay, well, I guess I'll watch this until I got pee. I'm gonna start this one out with Mrs. Doubtfire because I agree with Frank. Like he's a creeper for God's sakes.
Yes.
And the movie's supposed to be funny and you're supposed to like him, but the movie starts out with him like violating the lives of his kids and his ex-wife. It's like, well, no wonder she wanted to get away from him.
Yeah, he should be in jail, no doubt. Absolutely.
And it's supposed to be funny. Like the only funny joke was in the preview for the movie too. Like, oh man, that was like, this is not a funny movie. It's not uplifting. This is fucked up. This is what this is.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of depressing because this guy definitely has mental issues, right? To go to those lengths to do what he did. Like, it's fucked up, man. Go to jail. Like, that's where you belong.
Well, he belongs in a hospital, I think. But anyway, so Mrs. Doubtfire moves on because, we both agree on that one. Next, we have Men in Black 2, which I put on this list. Fuck you, Men in Black 2. I love Men in Black. Men in Black is probably like one of my top 20 favorite movies. I love the original.
Really? Really?
I could never have been more disappointed with the sequel.
Wow. I hated both of those movies, but
well,
okay.
You're fucking wrong. Vincent D'Onofrio is amazing in the first one.
It's
and
fucking horrible,
Will
Breakman.
Smith and what's his name? They play off each other so well. I fucking love the first movie.
God, I hate both of those movies.
The second one, they got Rip Torn doing waifu.
Yeah. Rip Torn.
Fucking, what was that? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah.
With a man who's in his 70s and mentally deranged? I hate Men in Black 2. Next is Dodgeball, and this is from
Eric. I put Dodgeball in many for the same reasons as Talladega Nights, and I think any movie with Vince Vaughn in it just automatically sucks. he was not a great protagonist in the film. He had no presence, and the antagonist, Ben Stiller, was a show stealer for the most part. But even then, the movie wasn't that funny.
Wow, 2 movies with Rip Torn in it. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I get to go first on this one.
I did the list. Oh my God, you're right.
I get to go first on this one because you guys picked these movies.
And I want to say, like, Dodgeball was okay, but I mostly agree with Eric. Like, I wasn't just Dodgeball was a big hit and stuff like that, but Ben Stiller was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. Well, I disagree. There's one scene and it involves Rip Torn in Dodgeball that's actually really funny. Yeah, with the wrenches. Like, I mean, what better way to make people fucking really move than throw fucking real wrenches at them, right? So I think that was a genius scene. And for that, like, actually, Men in Black 2, both Men in, I know you're going to disagree with me, Break, but both of those movies fucking suck ass. They're, Men in Black 2 tried to recreate what they did in Men in Black 1 and failed miserably. But even the premise of Men in Black 1 fucking blows. I hate that movie almost as much as I hate Men in Black 2, but Men in Black 2 moves on for me anyways.
So I think the premise of Men in Black was, what if we did Ghostbusters but aliens?
Yes. And it was a horrible
and Evolution
version.
was, what if we did Men in Black but you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
spores or whatever the fuck it was.
Evolution was more like, oh, remember when Ghostbusters was a big hit? What if we tried to redo that again?
Yeah. I don't know. For me, Men in Black 2, I agree with you. It's worse than the first for sure. But its lineage is just pretty bad anyways.
And that reminds me. When I went to go see it, I saw Men in Black 2 for free because I sold Sprint phones at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sprint promoted the movie, and people didn't see the cut that we did. There were, anytime like there was like a Sprint phone or something on it, they lingered on the Sprint products in the movie.
Oh my God, that would have made it
Which was
worse.
another reason I hated it too. Like, so it was like oh, what? Okay, well,
Product placement, yay.
Yeah, but then I saw it like years later, and they didn't have the product placement like that. Just the version that we saw, like paid for by Sprint.
Oh my God, awful. But yeah, Men in Black for me.
I agree. Men in Black 2. Move on. Fuck you, Men in Black 2. Next up, we have Joe Dirt 2, which was actually Freak who did that one. Have you seen Joe Dirt 2, Frank?
I think I saw 5 minutes of it, and I was like, nope.
Somewhere like it.
Yeah, nope. I'm not doing this one. I got bamboozled with the first one. Not gonna get bamboozled with the second one.
Oh well, I put the next one on here, the Jetsons movie. This is one I saw in the theaters because my mom won tickets to it, unfortunately. It's supposed to be like a kids movie, and I didn't really like the Jetsons show to begin with because it took like a 1 minute joke and turned it into a 30-minute episode of a show every time. Like the whole like, ooh, look, he pushes the one button and it does his whole job. And you go back to that scene every fucking episode.
I agree. The Jetsons.
It's the one button again.
Jetsons kind of overrated, for sure. Brakeman, for sure.
The movie tried to appeal to a younger audience by focusing more on the daughter, if I remember it right. And there's a club scene she's in, and it was a boring piece of shit turd. The Jetsons, like you said, was overrated to begin with, but the movie is one of those abysmal things that should have never happened.
Yeah, I think for the rest of this tourney, we should just go through them instead of describing, because we got a long ways to go, Ray.
Oh shit, my bad. Okay, Go ahead, Eric, you start.
I'm voting for the Jetsons movie because I saw it and didn't care for it.
Yeah, it was terrible. Frank?
I'm gonna pick Joe Dirt 2 just because it was shitty, like everything I've seen about it. But I'm fine with the Jetsons moving on.
Yeah, and Jetsons are moving on because I didn't see Joe Dirt and I hate the Jetsons. Next, we have, I think this is probably the one movie that we actually all agreed with. Freddy Got Fingered versus Police Academy Mission to Moscow. Police Academy Mission to Moscow is on this list because they had already killed the Police Academy franchise by the point Moscow had come out.
Yeah.
And it was still like, okay, well, this is what is this, like pissing on the grave now?
Yeah.
Like, it should have probably died with the fourth movie, but now they made a fifth and a sixth, and then they made that one.
That being said, Breakman, Freddy Got Fingered, I think, is gonna get the nod from all of us, man. Like I don't even think. I mean, it's literally one of the worst movies ever made. Like, honestly, like I don't think any of us are gonna. Does anybody disagree? Do you disagree,
Nope.
Break? Okay.
No, I hate that movie.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I like Tom Green, by the way.
Out of it, the theater, but like I said, I wrote with somebody else.
Yeah.
Anyway, next.
I think we're all gonna agree on the next one too.
Yeah.
Maybe. Next we have the action bracket, and we're going to start with Double Dragon, which is the worst video game adaptation movie I ever saw, which is saying a lot, versus Terminator Salvation, which I haven't seen, but is universally loathed by Terminator fans, which I am a Terminator fan, I just haven't seen Salvation.
Yeah.
Let me see. I put Dragon, Frank the Salvation. Eric, you can start.
I'm going with Double Dragon. Such a turd.
Yeah,
Salvation at least had some interesting aspects to it.
Yeah.
And Double
Movie
Dragon,
itself kind of execrable.
of all the video game premises, Double Dragon's got the simplest.
Yeah. Yeah.
How could you fuck that up? You
Exactly.
You could have just had like you got two brothers fighting once you got a martial artist movie.
Yeah.
Essentially, you could have
Yeah.
got like Dolph Lundgren or not Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren would have been awesome
If you
in
ask
it.
me, the movie so foul it inspired a Neo Geo fighting game.
Ugh.
It's horrible.
And it was made in Japan and not released in the West, but
Oof,
it exists.
I think Double Dragon's awful. Terminator Salvation, at least special effects are pretty awesome, you know.
At least I think it wasn't released in the West. I could be wrong.
Next, we have the third X-Men movie. You killed off my favorite character at the very beginning of the movie. That pisses me off, and then the rest of the movie sucked. Anyway.
Yeah.
Even though you had another one of my favorite, you brought another one of my favorites in there, but killing Cyclops was too much for me. Fuck you, X-Men Free. Versus Waterworld, which was Frank hates that movie.
Oh God, I hate Waterworld with a fucking passion. Dennis Hopper be damned. I mean, this movie sucked. It was awful. I went to the theater to see this, and I was like so hopeful. But for me, it's Waterworld. So I guess that leaves Eric as the tiebreaker. Like,
let me tell you one thing, Eric. If you haven't seen Waterworld, there are boobs in it.
there's boobs in Waterworld.
But because I haven't seen it, and I did not like X-Men 3 all that much, I'm voting for X-Men 3.
Ugh,
Last Stand.
I can't believe.
Boobs he meets that girl for the first time, and she flashes him to get what she wants.
Really? I don't even remember that. That's how unmemorable.
I don't forget about
fucking
boobs.
Waterworld.
Next we have Catwoman versus Van Helsing. I put Van Helsing on here. I think Frank put Catwoman.
I put Catwoman, but I'm going to tell you right now, Breakman, I'm going with Van Helsing because I totally forgot about that movie, and at least you had the awesome Catwoman suit that Halle Berry wears. So.
Oh my God, Frank.
Yeah.
Love you, Frank. Eric,
Yep.
what do you say?
I'm voting for Van Helsing because I think even Weaving couldn't, or not Weaving.
It was one of the
Vigo.
worst.
Hugh Jackman.
Vigo couldn't save the movie.
It was such a terrible, abysmal movie. Like you wouldn't, like it was such a cool idea, but everything they did was absolutely the opposite of cool.
Yeah.
And next, this one might be a little harder for Frank, but I think me and Eric already know our pick.
I think
on this.
I know what you guys are gonna pick. I mean, my pick would be Blade Trinity because it's the fucking.
So, Blade Trinity versus Dragon Ball Evolution, and I actually agree with you, Frank. I hate Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
But Dragon Ball Evolution, like
It's one of the worst movies.
It does have one. It does have one saving grace. It's only 60 minutes.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution though. I mean, at least there are some cool effects in Blade Trinity. I'll agree with you guys. On
it took a torch to the Dragon Ball universe and then shit on the flames.
Yes. And
then
If you ask me, that shitty low budget live action Chinese, or was it? I think it was Chinese movie for Dragon Ball was probably better than Evolution ended up being.
I agree.
Especially since it was more closely related to the actual source material.
I think we're all gonna agree on this next one, Break.
Yeah, maybe. Next we have a movie I absolutely hate, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's to me that's sort of like the Van Helsing. This you got this bloated cast.
Yes.
Not likable.
Yeah.
They don't do anything interesting. You don't want to root for them.
Not even Sean Connery could save that movie. It's pretty
and
bad.
versus the most notorious video game movie of all time, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
To me, it's Annihilation, man. I don't even like. Some people can find like the fun in it, like it's so bad it's good type thing. I just think it's so bad it's bad. I don't find any enjoyment in that movie whatsoever. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is pretty boring, but oh my God, Annihilation's so bad. I have to go with Annihilation. Break.
I'm actually gonna go next, and I'm actually gonna go with Annihilation as well because. And I've talked about before. I liked the Mortal Kombat story. I always thought
me
it
too.
Interesting and stuff.
Me
and
too.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation couldn't even do that, right?
Yeah.
I'm voting for it as well.
The costumes.
The costumes
I've
are so
seen Little
bad.
kids on Halloween dress better than those costumes.
Yes, that's a great point. Break. Great point. All right.
Anyway, Mortal Kombat moves on, and that's we all agree on that one. Next, we have the Batman segment of our bracket here because Batman took up a few spots, and honestly, I could put a bunch more Batman movies on here. Batman: The Killing Joke versus Batman versus Superman. Batman v Superman. I put that one. Eric put The Killing Joke. But when I saw The Killing Joke, and I had to agree with Eric, it's just wow. That's a movie that didn't need to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Batman versus Superman's extended edition or whatever it was called, it was much better than the original.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So that's why I'm voting for The Killing Joke.
Yeah, I'm also voting for The Killing Joke because how could they fuck up such a great comic so badly? And you had fucking Mark Hamill.
They turned it into an exploitation is what they did.
Yes, it was so
It was
bad.
supposed to be like a comic with a point, like a very like valid points, and it was trying to make, and they turned it into an exploitation movie.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I'm going with Killing Joke, man. And like Eric said, the extended version of Batman Superman much better, even though it wasn't great. At least it was better.
I don't think it was. I hated the extended version too. I thought that.
Really, I like the extended version a little bit better. I don't know, but whatever.
Ben Affleck is not a good Batman.
No, I agree. I agree with that as well.
Next, we have back to the Batman segment, Batman and Harley Quinn, which both me and Eric saw. And
you put a Y in there for some reason. It doesn't need it.
I don't know. Versus Batman Forever, which
actually, I think it might be just Batman and Harley, but I could be wrong.
Batman and Harley. Okay, I'll just put whatever. Since we put those both on there, Frank, you could start.
I'm going with Batman Forever because that was the exact opposite of what a Batman movie should be. I know they were going for campiness and all that, but holy fuck was it so bad. And I think George Clooney was the Batman in that one, right?
No, that's the next one.
Oh, it's Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer. Who was it?
Val Kilmer.
Yes. He was an awful Batman as well. But not as nearly as bad as George Clooney, but still... Batman Forever sucked.
Yeah, that's why I put that one instead of Batman and Robin. I was going to put Batman and Robin, but I was like, well, by that time, Batman franchise was already dead because Forever was just so terrible.
Yeah, I would have probably put Batman and Robin before Batman Forever, but still, it was just but yeah,
it was just because they're both terrible, so it was a hard choice.
Yeah, I know.
But you get to go first, Frank.
I'm going with Batman Forever, man. It's easy.
Eric?
Batman Forever bad. I'm voting for it.
Yeah.
I'm also going Batman Forever. I thought one of us might have gone Batman and Harley, but Batman Forever moves on. The last of the action bracket, we have the Avengers. Don't freak out, everybody, because I'm not talking about Iron Man and Captain America. I'm talking about the British television show that they made into an action movie.
Oh my God,
where
that
Sean
was so
Connery
bad.
dresses a terrorist in a teddy bear suit.
I think this is why the first Avengers movie is just called Avengers, not
not the Avengers. Yeah.
It's one of those movies I quit watching because it was so bad. But it's going up against another movie I quit watching because it was so bad, Battlefielder, by Frank. Since these were both of ours, Eric, you start.
I'm gonna vote for Battlefield Earth. It looks like it's the shittiest movie ever. I never wanted to see it ever.
It is one of the shittiest movies ever made. Battlefield Earth was one of the biggest fucking piece of shit science fiction movies I ever forced myself to watch. It was like watching. I could have watched fucking paint dry, literally with like mauve colors.
Let's give a 50-year-old John Travolta dreadlocks for no reason and weird chivalry shit on his face.
It was so bad, man. And
wasn't it based on an L. Ron Hubbard book?
Yes, and L. Ron Hubbard is a piece of fucking trash, man. His fucking books suck. Fuck L. Ron Hubbard, man. All that Scientology bullshit that we got is now. Fuck L. Ron Hubbard and fuck Battlefield Earth. The book was not great. I read it, right? And it wasn't even great then, and it translated terribly to a movie. So for me, it's Battlefield Earth break.
Battlefield Earth moves on, even though I pick Avengers because I fucking hated that movie.
I hated that movie too. I agree with you, break. It's awful.
I don't know why they made it. I mean, at what point did Sean Connery say, "Oh, this teddy bear outfit, that's fine. This is a good idea"?
Hey, if somebody puts $10 million in front of you, Breakman, to wear a teddy bear outfit, are you gonna deny it? I
No,
wouldn't.
but he was James Bond.
But at that point, in his career, bro, like they were just offering him money for anything, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, his last movies were absolutely terrible garbage. Next, we have the horror bracket, and this is the final bracket. This is the one where, like, if I could probably make a whole thing of just horror movies, you know. Really, we can make a whole thing of any genre. But anyway, horror. I had to thin this one down because we had more horrors than any.
She said horrors.
Me and Mrs. Brakeman saw this in a movie theater because did we win tickets to go see that? We won free tickets to go see I Know Who Killed Me, starring Lindsay Lohan as twins, versus a movie from Freak, Poultrygeist. I Know Who Killed Me was supposed to be like a torture porn horror movie. It was so bad I started laughing halfway through. Like while she's being tortured, and
so it was an actual.
Laughing, other people in the audience started.
Hold on, Brakeman. I thought this was a parody movie. I Know Who Killed Me.
Apparently, that's what I. By that point, I was kind of in on that too, it being a parody because, yeah, like when I started laughing, other people in the audience started laughing too.
No,
like,
but you mean you mean to tell me this is an actual horror movie and not like one of those parody movies like I Know What You Did on Fifth Avenue last fall type movies? Is it a real horror movie? I Know Who Killed Me?
It's supposed to be.
Oh my God! Okay, I mean, all right.
It came out as like it didn't. It was a movie that didn't seem to know what it wanted to be. Like at one point, it's like a torture porn movie. At another, it's just straight horror. At a certain point, it tried to be a comedy movie, and that's why you know it's not a parody because they tried their like. There's a section where they're being straight like this is a comedy.
Wow.
Yeah. And like I said, at one point she's being tortured, and I just couldn't help but laugh. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
And when the rest of the audience is laughing, you know it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to laugh. So I'm going to find out who killed me. Frank?
I think I'm also going to go with that because I honestly thought that was one of those shitty, like, you know, like there's a movie called Vampire Sucks that like makes fun of the Twilight movies, or I thought I Know Who Killed Me was a riff on I Know What You Did Last Summer or something. You know what I mean? Like that's what I thought when you put it on there. So apparently I was wrong, but I'm going to pick that because Poltergeist, as terrible as it is, Poltergeist, it had
Poultrygeist.
That's what I said, Poultrygeist.
No, I'm sorry, Miss Brakeman thought you said Poltergeist.
Poltergeist sucks too. Sorry, that's an overrated piece of shit movie, by the way. That should have been on this list, because fucking Tobe Hooper. They list Tobe Hooper as the director, but Steven Spielberg actually directed Poltergeist, and it was much darker, and it should have been much better than what it was. I think Poltergeist sucked, but Poltergeist at least had a little bit of heart. It was really bad, no doubt, but it was one of those B movies that had a little bit of heart. If you guys want to see a good movie about a turkey, watch Thanksgiving, which I reviewed last week. I think it's so stupid, but so fun at the same time. But I'm going with I Know Who Killed Me, Brakeman.
I haven't seen either of these, so I think I'm just gonna vote for Poultrygeist.
All right.
Is moving on. Next we have Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which I liked. Everybody hated it.
You gotta be fucking joking me, Brakeman. You have to be joking. You like the fucking remake?
I thought what's his name did a good job
being
like really creepy.
Fucking shit, Brakeman. You're the first movie.
I know. Even Mrs. Brakeman agrees with you. I'm the only one.
You are the only person I have ever met that likes Nightmare on Elm Street remake. This was one of the most piece of shit remakes I have ever fucking. They didn't get anything right. They got nothing right.
Would you let me interrupt for a second?
Yes, go ahead.
I know you're right, but I still enjoyed it. Okay.
Oh my God, Brakeman. Jesus Christ, Brakeman. We're gonna have to like reprogram you a little bit on this one, Brakeman. Let me break it down for you, Brakeman. They got nothing right in this movie. The makeup. The only thing they got right is the actor. I like James. What's his name? James Earl Haley or whatever the fuck his name is.
He's a really good actor.
He's really good.
I thought he was great as Freddy.
He's really, really good. But they turned this movie into something completely different for the worse, right? Okay, so they played on the molestation aspect of it. All right. Okay, I guess. Which that's what the first movie was supposed to be too. But
Yeah, like I thought they hinted about that in the first movie, and I know everybody was freaking out about that being in this movie, but I thought that was in the original.
none of the acting in this movie was good. Not even his, and he's really good in most of his movies. He was great as Rorschach. He was awesome as Rorschach, but as Freddy Krueger, he was awful. They didn't get the makeup. They made him okay. I know he was burned alive, but you could have at least made him look a little more demonic, a little more menacing. He looked like a burned fucking Funko or something in this movie. He did not look menacing at all. Any of his lines were not menacing. He couldn't even laugh right. There was nothing menacing. The whole premise of Robert Englund's Freddy was that he was fucking menacing, right? And he had all these wicked fucking powers in the dream world and all this shit. They didn't do any of that in this movie. And the fucking teen angst from the other actors, the younger actors, what the fuck? Where the casting was awful. I'm like, you could have picked almost any. You could have picked the dude from that Malcolm in the Middle show, and he would have been better in this fucking movie than any of those piece of shit actors. This movie sucked fucking ass. It's awful. It is a blight on humanity that they remade Nightmare on Elm Street this bad, right? And
I'm glad I said I liked it just for your rant.
look at this. But look, check this out, Breakman. I'm also going to rant on the next one. So this is why this is. These are the two.
Halloween made by the remake by Rob Zombie. I did not see this one.
Remember how I said that this was the worst horror remake ever? I forgot about Halloween by Rob Zombie. That is the worst remake I've ever fucking seen in my life. All right?
Like how I compared to remakes there.
They fucking look. Check this out, guys. Both of these movies are blasphemous, but Halloween is even more blasphemous than the Nightmare on Elm Street, because you want to talk about not getting anything right. The fucking mask sucked. The actor sucked. The premise sucked. Instead of it being maybe some type of supernatural fucking, they called him the Shape for a fucking reason, Michael Myers, right? In this fucking movie, right? He's just got some psychological issues, and he just kills for no fucking like just because. It wasn't like the first one where he was super menacing with his mask, and he would, they made this story where he killed somebody at an early age, and that's that. This one, the actor was like, just walking around. Child actor, right? I'm fine with child acting, but it was all wrong. And then you have Malcolm McDowell in this movie who takes over for Donald Pleasance's role of Loomis, which I thought was, on the surface, should have been brilliant. But all you get is him for the whole movie. Michael! And I'm like, you have an A-list fucking actor and you can't give him any fucking lines in this movie? It's no wonder that McDowell is a fucking asshole, because nobody ever gives him anything good to do anymore. Right? He's an A-list fucking great actor, and all he's doing in this movie is like, Mike, and he does it in part 2 too, which is even worse. So, look, I know I ranted on both of these, but by the very slimmest of margins, just because I hate Halloween a little bit more, I'm giving it to Halloween. I could go on and on all night about these movies, Breakman.
I'm obviously going with Halloween, so it's moving on. But what are you doing, Eric?
Also, Halloween. I haven't seen either of them, but
oh god, they're
based
both.
on what you said,
Jesus Christ, they're
Make
both
it a
awful.
trifecta. Next is this. I haven't seen this one. Season of the Witch by Eric, and I added Annabelle.
Okay. I wasn't involved in either of these, so I'm gonna go first on this. Season of the Witch is Halloween 3. It's actually a decent movie if you take it out of the Halloween universe. So
I'm an idiot. Yeah, okay. I know what I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Ron Perlman movie. That movie.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, I haven't seen.
Ron Perlman. Which movie is what?
There's a movie called Season of the Witch. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I never seen that one. So
What are you talking about, Frank? You showed it to us for movie night.
Season of the Witch with Ron Perlman?
Yeah.
I never.
Is that the
Ron Perlman, I think, and Nick Cage.
Was that the witch movie we watched that night?
Yeah.
What? Okay, hold on. It's got to be a different name because I'm not recognizing this. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Hold on, you guys talk while I look.
Well, you're looking it up. I'm gonna go with Annabelle's because Annabelle is one of those big whole movies we talk about building stuff up and then nothing ever happening. And this one, to top it off, it ended with most of nothing happening except for an innocent woman sacrificing her soul for no good reason.
Okay, I never showed this movie, but I've seen this movie. It's with Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman. All right.
What are you talking about? You did it for movie night.
No, I didn't.
You don't remember.
You must have seen somebody else's movie night, Eric. I didn't do Season of the Witch. No way, dude.
Which movie? I remember which movie.
This wasn't it, man. But
you clearly have a faulty memory, Frank.
I think Eric's right. I'm sorry, Frank, but I think Eric's right.
I think you're both out of your fucking mind, man.
I think you hated it so much, Frank, you decided to purge it from your memory.
Maybe that's the case. I guess for that reason, I'm gonna go with Season of the Witch, but for reasons unknown, man.
You even asked us, like, doesn't it sound like a good D&D campaign?
Oh fuck, man! Maybe you guys are right. Maybe you guys are right. But I don't remember playing. But it's bad. It's really, really fucking bad, man. But Annabelle is really terrible too, and which sucks because the sequel was fucking good. Did you see the sequel, Breakman?
No.
It's good. It's really good. The sequel's really good.
I've heard the sequel's good, but the first one it's one of those movies that's like, why did you even make this? And why is it like this could have been like a half-hour television show or something?
Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys are right. I picked Season of the Witch, so it's up to Eric, right?
I'm voting for Season of the Witch.
I was gonna say he's got Season of the Witch, I got Annabelle, so Season of the Witch is moving on.
All right.
Season of the Witch. Next we have Troll 2 by Frank and Velocipaster from Freak. And Frank, you should start.
Okay, I'm not going for Troll 2, my pick, because it has too much heart. I've talked about heart in movies before. It's still a terrible movie that everybody should watch, but the documentary on it is even better. You guys should watch the documentary called The Best Worst Movie Ever Made. But Velocipaster has to be one of the shittiest horror movies I've ever seen in my life, bar none. I've seen it. Do you remember that one, Bernie? Velocipaster?
Awful.
It was shitty, wasn't it?
It was a garbage movie. There was no redeeming qualities about it.
No, it's basically about a pastor that turns into a velociraptor. So Velocipaster moves on for me.
It sounds like they came up with a kind of cool name and they made a story around the name.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Like, this is going to be a cool comic book. Oh, we can make it into a movie. Yeah. So I guess I'm sorry. What do you want, Eric?
I'm voting for Velocipaster because at least Troll 2 has that one weird sequence with the terribly bad acting that's campy and memey.
Oh yeah, one of the lines in Troll 2, I got to tell you guys is you can't piss on hospitality. That's one of the lines in it. It's really bad.
Can't piss on hospitality.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta see it, dude. I
think that should be the title of the show.
Don't piss on hospitality. Oh man, that's funny. All right.
I'm gonna go with you guys because I've never seen either one of these movies. So Velocipaster moves on. Just because it's a terrible idea.
I would recommend watching Troll 2 at least once, Breakman. Just watch it. It's fun to watch if nothing else.
Okay. Next there's a movie I don't recommend you watch: Paranormal Activity versus is Freaks Zombie-ass Toilet of the Dead. I have never seen that. I have to go with Paranormal Activity. It's found footage, stupid shit, bullshit movie. Frank, You're next.
Okay, this is easy for me. Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead has some heart to it. It's a terrible movie with a terrible premise of like people like farting and like causing zombieism, I guess. But Paranormal Activity is 90 minutes of nothing happening and 1 minute of something happening at the very end. It is boring Paranormal Activity for me.
The farting to turn people into zombies sounds kind of funny to me. Actually.
It's a funny movie. I actually had some fun watching Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead. So yeah.
So I'm voting for Paranormal Activity as well.
Yeah. It's overrated beyond overrated. If you want to see it, there was one sequel that was actually decent. It's called The Marked Ones that people hate the worst. That's the one that you should watch. Marked Ones. It was actually the best of the series and had some scary.
Isn't that the third one?
It's like the third one, I think. It's called Marked Ones. It ties everything in pretty good, I thought. But who am I? But all right.
Anyway, next we have Paranormal Activity moves on. Next we have Resident Evil from Frank and Zombies from Freak. I've never seen Zombies, but I like Resident Evil, so I'm going to start and going to vote for Zombies. Frank, you're next.
I'm going with Resident Evil. I think Resident Evil is one of the most overrated movies of all time. I know some people like it. I think it's shit. I think Mila Jovovich is one of the most wooden actresses to work in Hollywood. I don't think she can act her way out of a paper bag. People like her just because she's good looking. There was only one movie that I saw with her in it that I actually kind of liked, and it was like this movie. It was like kind of a thriller movie with these two other dudes. They're on an island. I can't even remember what it's called. But everything else I've ever seen.
You didn't like The Fifth Element, then?
I like Fifth Element, but what did she add to that movie at all? Nothing. She plays the same character in every movie.
She is like a mute in that movie.
Yeah, she's like she's a mute in every movie, even when she talks. Man, she's terrible.
I'm not trying to be mean to anybody who can't actually talk. I'm saying like her.
No,
like,
I agree.
She can physically talk. She just doesn't.
Yeah, right. Ugh, but she's terrible in Resident Evil, and that whole movie was a travesty upon video games. They should have stuck with the mansion, which is what the first Resident Evil movie's basic whole premise was, and it would have been a much funner movie. I was sorely disappointed. Zombies, at least there's some B-movie, camp to it with, zombie fucking lions and other shit, but Resident Evil for me is just, there's nothing good about that movie at all. So I guess it's up to Eric to break the tie. Yeah.
You're voting Resident Evil?
Yeah. Oops.
Resident Evil moves on. We've got two more left. House of the Dead, which I've never seen, versus The Predator, which I've never seen, and I've been told it's good. I've never seen both of these, so I'm happy about that. I will, since I think these were both from each of you, I'm going to go ahead and start, and I like the Predator franchise. The House of the Dead, it's a fun gun game. I've never been really woo, we gotta go play House of the Dead. But just for fucking with Predator, I'm voting for the Predator. Eric?
I never saw House of the Dead. I don't want to, but I really did not like the Predator, so fuck the Predator. I'm voting for that.
Ugh, I can't believe you guys voted for Predator over House of the Dead. Predator at least has some cool special effects. The only effects in House of the Dead are you know what they did in House of the Dead? They tried to, and here's why House of the Dead is uniquely terrible and should have moved on, guys. It intersperses the video game with the movie. I kid you not. I kid you not. And also, it did the Matrix thing, so it would have somebody up in the air for no reason, and they.
My vote. I'm changing my vote.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Predator's bad. The Predator is bad, but it's not nearly as bad as House of the Dead. You guys got to watch.
I didn't know they played actual game footage in the movie.
It's glorious, Breakman. You watch it, and all of a sudden, these little quick snippets of somebody playing two-manned House of the Dead are interspersed throughout the movie. It's terrible. And I don't know if Uwe Boll did this one. I don't think he did. He did? Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes it even worse.
I don't think he did the sequel though.
Whatever, but this movie is just bad. Yeah.
Next up, so I changed my answer. So House of the Dead moves on. if I'd known about I would have voted for that in the very first time.
Oh,
As soon as you
dude.
told me it was like video game footage, because that's not like a heavy graphically good looking game.
Oh no. They right in the middle of it, you know. Yeah.
Next, and I decided I thought it'd be fun to put these two movies against each other because they're so completely different, even though the one's a sequel to the other.
Yeah.
The Blair Witch versus Blair Witch 2.
Yeah.
Frank, you can start because you were the horror expert.
Okay. I'm going with Blair Witch, and I'll tell you why. Wyland actually sent me a cut of Blair Witch 2 that was closer to what the director wanted. And it doesn't make it a great movie, but it makes it a better movie. All right, just the sequences and stuff like that. So, I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. Why people think that Blair Witch is a seminal horror movie is fucking beyond me. You know how we talked about Paranormal Activity being 90 minutes of nothing and then something happens at the end? This movie was that before Paranormal Activity, right?
No, I disagree. This movie wasn't even that because there isn't anything that happens at the end. This is 100% nothing.
No. I actually do like the very end scene with the guy like up against the wall, like that was sort of creepy. I guess you could have kind of thought of it as creepy because he's just like standing there doing nothing. But
I was just watching it like, wait, the movie's over? What the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Breakman. I think Blair Witch 1 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Period.
I will say it had one of the most brilliant marketing campaigns.
No doubt. And then who in their right mind thought it was cool to see a close up of a chick's boogers for about 30 fucking minutes of the movie? You know what I'm saying? This movie fucking sucks, and people love this movie, and I'm like, why? And they have all these theories of what happened, and were the guys the real killers and all. I tell you what, I'd really like to fucking shoot the director of this movie. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Don't anybody take that. Right. But
with a Nerf gun, yeah.
Yeah, with a Nerf gun. But holy fuck, is this movie bad? And at least 2, like with the recut. I'm gonna try to get Wyland to send you guys the recut because it's actually worth a watch. Like it just changes things a little bit, and it changes it for the better. So it makes it a better movie. But holy fuck, Blair Witch is bad. I'm going Blair Witch, Breakman.
Eric?
I haven't seen either of these, but I'm voting for Blair Witch.
The mega trifecta, Blair Witch, I've said is 100% of nothing ever happening. It's got this like buildup of something's gonna happen, and then that ending that you like, I hate that ending because like I don't understand, like nothing's happening.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I didn't say I liked it. I said at least it was sort of kind of creepy with that guy up against the wall there, and whatever.
Right, no, I'm not saying like you like the movie. I'm saying like you like the ending. Like no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I don't necessarily like the ending. I just thought it was like kind of, I guess, scary to see that dude just motionless up against the side of the wall there. But yeah, I agree with you. The whole movie is just ass. Breakman, no doubt. Yeah, Breakman.
Well,
so
that's it. That's the tournament. Yay!
We're way over, man. But I think we did a pretty fun. I mean, this is a fun tournament, don't you guys think? I mean, I think this is fun.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see where it ends up, man, because there's a lot of good ones in here. Like a lot of good
my favorite's the one we disagree because
Right. There's not very many I don't think that we really disagreed on for the most part, man. Like you said, we could have had a lot more horror movies in here. Fucking oh god. Look. The premise of this is not to pick every single shitty movie because we'd be here for months because there's so many shitty movies. But I'm glad we've got some on here. I mean, this is relieving to me because like there's some movies on here like fucking Grease, which everybody exalts as like a great movie. Breakfast Club, fucking Crash, It's a Wonderful Life, like Perfect Storm. That's my pick to go all the way for sure, but holy fuck, there's some good ones on here, man. Mrs. Doubtfire, I'm like ecstatic that you guys agree with me on Mrs. Doubtfire because holy fuck, is that a bad movie? with a bad premise, and a bad human being. It's just so bad. But all right, we got to get out of here, guys. Let's do our plugs. Breakman.
At least that character he plays like later on, that dentist or something. Like it's like, okay, yes, this is a bad character. Or well, what was it? Photos. That's what it was. He
1
was
hour
taking people's photos.
1 hour photo, yeah.
Yeah, like at least they don't try to hide sugarcoat or anything. It's like, oh yeah, this guy's just really creepy. Stay the fuck away,
Yeah. Mrs. Doubtfire was supposed to be this lucky feel-good, movie, and it's like, oh.
It would have been better as like a horror movie, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. They could. Oh, yeah, perfect. It would have been a great movie along the lines of Orphan or something, but whatever. All right. We got to get out of here, guys. Let's do our plugs. Breakman, plug away.
At RPGrinders on Twitter. I haven't checked to see if I've been unblacklisted on the other one. I don't really care. Twitter's turning into a shit show badly. Yeah. Like I said, I'm getting banned almost every day for calling Nazis Nazis.
Right. Which is a shame because Nazis fucking blow. And I'll never support anybody who says anything along the lines of what Kanye did, or that piece of shit Nick Fuentes, or which is a Spanish name, by the way. Did the fucking Nazis care to look into who his parents are, and maybe
does Yi have any idea what the Nazis did to black people, for instance?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know that Holocaust thing? Yeah, black people were involved in that too. Dumbass Yi.
Yeah, anybody that was not white with blue eyes. Candace Owen is another one that's like that. That's black, that fucking protects white supremacists at every fucking turn. Fuck you too, you bitch.
She had that guy on her show that was saying that they should give reparations to slave owners.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, they went through so much, Breakman, the slave owners, they went through so much.
They had their property taken from them, is what her argument was.
Oh,
like, are
God.
you serious?
Right. All right, Eric, your plugs.
You can find written reviews on BostonBashBrigade.com, or if you want to listen to my audio reviews on the feed, there's that. And if you like either of those things, you want to support me, and there's a link to my Patreon in my Twitter profile, which is @EricRPG. Send me as little as $1 or however much you want per month, or maybe just a one-time donation, and hopefully I can get more games to review or better hardware with that money. So that's all I have to really say.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter as long as I'm on there, which might, to be honest, might not be much longer, at Frank Branches. You can follow me on any of the systems, RPGrinders. And if you want to follow Bernie, she's got a channel too on YouTube called Bernie Branches. Make sure you check that out. She's going to start doing, actually I was on her video with doing like... these taste tests of these different foods from around the world. We're getting these boxes, and I don't know. It's going to be fun. Today's video was pretty fun after our technical difficulties, but make sure you check out her channel. That's about it. You guys have anything else?
No.
All right. Thanks, everybody in chat.
I was just telling everybody in chat my deep, sad story. Like, the real reason I was hospitalized, the suicide attempt and everything, was because of garbage packets.
It traumatized you with the kid, and that's why you later on in life
you had to get sent to.
Yeah.
I had to get it out of my head somehow.
Yeah. Alicidra, Alien Gathering, All Roads Lead to the Farm, another TV viewer, Commander Root, Drapsnat, Hollyat Kazerman, I know I fucked that up, Nina Tella, related to Nutella, Peculiar ASMR, and Violet's TV. Thank you all for joining chat. That's all we got for you this week. I know it was an extra long edition. Take care. See you guys next week. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we're out. Later, everybody.
Okay, I've got a question.
She vaginalized this week? What the fuck?
They still do that.
How dare you, Freak 5? You're exiled, you son of a bitch. Begazzled.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong, yeah.
Christmas ornaments? Really, Freak 5? Dare you? Fucking ping pong show in Tijuana, you son of a bitch. Yes, I saw your joke, you son of a bitch. Later. Yes, I saw your joke, Freak 5. Exiled, son of a bitch. All right, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. All that good fun jazz. But you know what? We're way over. We got to eat. I'm starving.
Yep.
Later in chat.